I won't be sharing the screens. We'll just be chitty chatting.
Because if we can get safe, Nathan, can you get a message across to your subs that you're going live on Ranty's channel?
Yeah, I just have done. I've just Facebook shared it and tweeted it. Slick start, by the way. Well done, Ranty.
Are we live now?
Yeah, did you see the little live thing in the top right-hand corner?
Oh yeah, I'm not used to seeing that. Feels a bit weird being on a foreigner's channel.
What do you mean, foreigners? We're on the same page, my friend.
I know, but it just feels weird not having the usual perks.
You have perks? What does he give you that he doesn't give me?
Do all the admin. You know, it just feels weird seeing things that are not like I've not seen that live button for a while.
Hey, Flat Earth New Zealand. Hey, Ute. Good to have you. Yeah, 1,000 subs, eh? Well done, Ranty.
I'm well chuffed. Seriously. It was a long old slog to get here. It's just nice to see 4 figures, 4 numbers.
Hard when you're doing it for real and not just buying them.
Oh, that was a dig.
Shout out to SciManDan. No SciManDan.
It took me best part of 10 years to get to 1,000 subs. I think it was 9 and a bit years. Something like that.
Yeah, but I get it a little bit quicker because I just basically say things like Sean Hufford can't do like video sound. He can't do audio. Sly Sparkane knows it's a ball. Knows it's not a ball. So I poke the enemy a bit, and that kind of gets me all the haters so quick that the easiest way is to go out and say things that are, well, probably what you believe at the time. May well be wrong, probably, maybe, who knows? But that kind of worked for me.
What, poking the bear got you subscribers?
Definitely, yeah. Poking the bear is good fun, though, because, I mean, I can't tell you how satisfying it is, right? You know this thing with Sean Hufford? I've been trying to update folk on your channel, Nathan, for the last couple of days, and I've not had a chance because there's been that much to talk about. And it's prioritizing the stuff that's important to keep the people listening. And Sean's just not made the grade. But I've been dying to tell people because I've now got evidence that's so going to destroy all Sean's arguments against me and show that GeoStream is a liar. It's going to show that Sean's a liar. It's going to show that Soundly's a liar because it's black and white. It doesn't rely on Sean's interpretation and doesn't rely on Sean's claims of being audio guy. It just proves that my microphone was shut. My gate was shut. And I can't wait to show it because it just exposes those 3 as the lying stooges. But I can't do it yet until I get it validated and verified to be accurate. And I've got 2 people working on it. One's giving me the results already, and I'm just waiting for the other. I can't wait for it to go public because it's going to be absolutely glorious. So all the rumors that are going around right now, whether or not it was GeoStreamer, whether or not it was me, was Riley being coached by, Morgile. That's the one I'm seeing mentioned now. Morgile was coaching me. Utter garbage.
You're joking? They've changed the person. It's obviously Soundly.
No, it's Morgile now, apparently.
What?
Morgile. Do you even know Morgile? Do you know John? Are you in touch with him?
I spoke to him once, but I don't have a rapport with him. I don't think anybody has a rapport with John because he's in and out of different places of residence. He moves around quite a lot because of whatever personal issues that are going on in his world. I hope the guy's settled and secure now, but he's hard to have a dialogue with. And I love John. I think he's one of the best of the Globebusters team. But I think that to assert that it's John the Morgile, knowing that I have no rapport with John whatsoever. I've spoke to him once on a hangout. That's it. So it's like I've never had a communication with him other than that. He must have been on live at the time, and I just dropped on. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you say, he's a difficult man to keep in touch with, but he does keep in touch.
He does usually respond if I message him, but I don't have any contact. I don't have any dialogue with him at all. Nothing.
Point being that he's not going to be coaching you in a hangout.
No, absolutely not. But the thing is, the way I see it is that Sean's got to show that hangout that he claims exists, right? And he's admitted and accepted that it wasn't on his channel. That removes like a third of the subscriber base, right? So that means he's left with either Sly or he's left with Reds. Well, Reds doesn't do that many hangouts. Maybe he does. He puts them all on hidden. But then Sly doesn't do that many hangouts either. Maybe he does. Maybe he puts them on hidden too. But my point is, I went through 400 plus Hangouts and I found one random phrase that Nathan said, and it took me less than 24 hours. Thanks for helping me there, boys. Nathan and John and everybody else that I asked for help. I had to do it all on my own, but I did it.
I worked really hard for that. I did.
Yeah.
I did about 20 seconds worth of reviewing to find that. What?
Was that sarcasm?
It was.
It was.
It was a silent dig. It was a silent dig.
I was like, why are you wasting your time? It's obviously soundly talking to him. Why are you trying to prove this nonsense wrong? It's so clear to everyone. You're like, come on, he set me this challenge. I just want to prove that I can do it. And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, and you know, when you need that help at that moment, when you're in that need and you really, really need it, I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm just doing my nails.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, but at least you can plead that you've got a cold.
I mean, I did say my wife's watching a movie and I'm on the iPad. You know, I did have my excuses.
Yeah, all right, and they were fair enough excuses because you know what it's like when the missus is doing this, that, and the other. You've just got to give way at times. You know, you have to do a little bit on the, you know, a little bit on flat Earth, a little bit on normal world. We've all got to do it.
Yeah, and it wasn't like I was lying. I was keen. I was like, how can I do this on the iPads? And you were like, well, you can't. I'm like, well, I want to help. Honest.
All I'm going to say is that regardless of how, right, Sean Hufford is going to get fucked. Really, really fucked. With, you know, that purple dildo, it's coming back out again on that Hangout. When the moment comes, that purple dildo's coming back out and it's got Sean's name on it.
What the hell? Sorry, this is something I'm not aware of. What are you talking about?
It was a Hangout. It was a video that I did to Sly once, and I had a purple dildo, and I used it as a microphone, and I just did it as this, you know, it was just as a microphone, and I just thought it was a good way to take the piss out of myself a little bit, take the piss out of the moment at the time, whatever it was. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was just a bit of light-hearted banter, and it was funny, and they take the piss out of it, and I don't mind them taking the piss, but that dildo will be coming back out. Especially on Sean. I'm going to enjoy it. I'll do it with a cigar as well.
Is that a threat or a promise?
Yeah, it's a promise.
Do you think he's the type to enjoy that kind of thing?
I don't know whether it'll be with consent or not, but he's definitely getting it. So if you're watching this live now, make sure you get the message to Sean. He's going to get fucked, and I'm going to enjoy doing it because you've lied so much about me in the last couple of days and weeks that you deserve it. Oh, when GeoStreamer, you're not getting away with it either.
I mean, they've still got a fairly limited amount of time, but they, you know, Geo might come clean. I don't know. I've been in moderate contact with him, and you've obviously told me about some of the messages you've had with Geo, but I don't know whether or not I'm right about this. I don't know. We'll find out, but I think he's actually got a little bit of moral compass in him somewhere, if that's the right analogy. So
you think that GeoStream is going to throw his mates under the bus on the hope that I'm bluffing? You don't underestimate their cohesion as a group, Nathan.
That changes things. So you think he might think you're bluffing?
Yeah, I think that they will think I'm bluffing, and he's not going to throw his mates under the bus.
Well, it's not about his mates. It's about his integrity, though, isn't it?
No. It is. It's all about their cohesion as a group, right? If he throws his mates under the bus by confessing and admitting that we've caught him by the short and curlies, that does throw his mates under the bus. He ain't going to do that. I can promise you.
But there's no. Well, okay, but the way I look at it, if you're gonna get screwed anyway, you'd be far better off at least showing a slight amount of integrity, a little bit of honesty. Wouldn't that be?
Let's quantify who's done the bigger crime here, right? I'm innocent of all charges. I said I was from the start. I said that I had nothing playing in the background, right? Now I accept that he can't remember exactly whether or not he was playing something in the background back then, because let's be honest, it's a few months back now. It's getting on 10 months. It's a while, and I can excuse that on the basis that he may not actually remember. However, let me shut this door one sec.
Bollocks. That's bollocks. We had this conversation earlier.
No, it's only bollocks if he wasn't playing something. But if he was playing something because somebody was in the background coaching him, then he would remember exactly what's going on. But so would Stanley. That's why it makes it more sinister.
Right, but that's my point. We know, you know, I know, 90% of the audience know that that's a contemporaneous conversation that they're having. He's asking for a bit of help and he gets it. So we all know what's really going on here. Now, given that's the case, he absolutely knows that that's the conversation, you know.
I agree. He knows. But the reason why I wasn't, because, I mean, I'll be honest, I'll hold my hands up and I'll say, do you know, maybe I was having some kind of like noise in the background that I don't remember. Because if you're innocent of the claim, it's difficult to, but if you're guilty of the claim, you know damn well what was going on, and you know damn well that you've got to hide this as best you can, because you're not having a flat earther outsmart you. Now, I'll be honest, I'll tell everybody that's watching now, how many's watching now? 52 people watching right now. I will admit to you all that I don't know anything about sound, and I'm relying on Sean Hufford and his claimed prowess of being audio guy, gotta love me. I'm relying on that to prove the truth, right? Because I don't know whether it's right or wrong. I don't know how audio works. I see a little thing bouncing up and down, and that to me tells me that my mic's working.
Calm down.
But when he makes silly claims, and people then come to my help and say, look, I can help you here. I can tell you which microphone it was. And not just one guy, two guys, and one of them's qualified and the other one's in practice as a sound engineer, neither of which speak English. I'm going to take that up, because you have to pay a lot of money for that kind of stuff. It's not about how hard it is to do it. It's knowing what process to do. And what Sean's trying to claim right now, today, is that white noise proves that my microphone was doing it. But the problem with white noise, the best way to describe white noise is it's interference. So if you unplug your microphone, your 3.5mm jack, that noise that's left in the background is the white noise when there's not unplugged into it. So that will be getting broadcast. But you're essentially comparing silence to silence. That doesn't prove anything. I've got proof, black and white proof, without any interpretation whatsoever, that my microphone was shut and that GeoStreamers was open. That is the only microphone that's open. Mine's not broadcasting a single frequency because my gate's shut. GeoStreamers mic's the one that's open, and it's the only mic that's open.
If I take my empathetic hat off and go, yeah, I hope he keeps fucking lying about it indefinitely.
Yeah.
That's definitely the best position for us. Keep lying about it, Geo. Don't come clean. Great. Keep lying through your back teeth. I've encouraged this on my show, and I'm going to do it on yours, Ranty. If you're watching now, because of the timing of this, I positively encourage, forget the views, I don't care about the popularity. Go to Soundly, GeoStreamer, or Sean Hufford and ask them the direct question. Maybe not Sean so much, but certainly GeoStreamer and Soundly, and go and say, why were you being coached? If it's Soundly, if it's GeoStreamer, so say, why were you being coached by Soundly, and get him to actually commit to barefaced lying to you in comments. Gather them up. Let's have a few. Screen cap it. But I want people to actually do this. I want Geo to barefaced lie to your face. So yeah, keep it up, Geo. Keep lying. Great. Let's have a few screen caps of him saying, no, I wasn't talking to Soundly.
Yeah, I think what we should do is invite Sean, Soundly, and GeoStreamer to publicly restate their position. Because GeoStreamer's position currently is...
I like that.
Yeah, let's get them to commit to it. Because GeoStreamer's position is currently, I do not remember whether or not my mic, whether I had somebody in the background or not. That's his current position.
That's pretty
Soundly
good.
Has been silent.
Good. Come on.
That's not bad, actually, is it? That's pretty good.
That was awesome.
Soundly has been silent, right? GeoStreamer's not actually defended himself beyond saying that, and Sean's done it all for him by proxy. Now, and Sean's position, of course, is that Anthony's a lying little piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. And now Morgile's in the background. I mean, let's be honest, right? Think about it. If somebody was in my background coaching me, why does it A, sound like Soundly, B, sounds like a coherent conversation, a contemporaneous back and forth between Geo and Soundly? If it was on my microphone, why would Soundly be telling me stuff that I then use against GeoStreamer? That makes no logical sense, right? It's a non sequitur argument. It would be like saying Nathan was on GeoStreamer's mic telling Geo what to tell against me. That's complete nonsense. But that's what they're going with at the moment. They think that Soundly was on my microphone. It's utter garbage. It doesn't make any sense.
It's
but
literally
that's what they're going with, because audio guy says so.
Descended into farce. It's got so ludicrous in terms of what they're claiming. It's brilliant. But that's great. I want them to keep it up. But most importantly, I want there to be a few victims of their lies.
Oh, yeah, the victim's going to be Sean. GeoStreamer's a liar, right? Soundly's a liar. Sean is the one that's arguing, pushing it, and making it sound and slurring me. Now, let's be honest, right? I got the Aristophanes one, not Aristophanes, the Foucault one. I got the Foucault video wrong. I hold my hands up. I fucked up, right? These guys know that background noise did not come from me, because if Sean's any kind of audio guy, gotta love me, then he knows, right? And if he doesn't know, then he's incompetent. But either way, I don't know which one he is or isn't. But he must know, because he claims to be an audio guy. So Sean must know the truth, or he's shit at audio. Either way, he's fucked. And he's the one that's pushing it. So whether or not I've done anything wrong in this instance, I can prove that I'm both A, innocent, B, not the one that's recording the sound, and C, I can prove that Gio, Soundly, and Sean are all fucking liars, right? That's a good day for me. So basically, Soundly and Gio, yeah, sure, they did something wrong. Sean's the one that's pushing it. Sean's the deceiver. He's the one that's the main protagonist in this. And he's going to be the fall guy. He's going to be the one that's going to be discredited on black and white evidence that proves beyond all reasonable doubt that he's the one that was cheating. He's the one that's complicit. He's the one that's a conspirator trying to make something out of nothing. And it's all lies. He's the one that's pushing it.
And breathe.
Yeah, I'm just encouraging the chat to do exactly that. Just go out, ask them the question. If it's GeoStreamer, why was Soundly coaching you? Why have you lied about it?
Yeah, everybody in chat should go over to GeoStreamer's channel or to Sean Hufford. So if you go into GeoStreamer's channel, ask Geo, why were you and Soundly having a sneaky conversation in the background? Can't you admit it? Are you not a man? And then go to Sean Hufford's channel and say, I thought you were supposed to be an audio guy. Can't you audio guy? And then just leave it at that. Because the thing is, I didn't know how to prove that I could. I didn't know how to prove a negative in audio, right? Until these two guys come along. And then when they basically said, yeah, all you need to do is this. Now, when somebody gives you the easy answer and then shows it in a nice, colourful, multicolored, technicolored Dreamcoat kind of graphy thing, and I look at that, and then I look at it and say, right, what am I looking at? And then he shows me it with 2 lines, and he says, right, that's your microphone, and that's his microphone. And all of a sudden, it makes perfect sense. You can see which microphone's doing all the work. But most importantly, you can see which microphone's not even recording a single frequency at any point. That means that my gate's shut, their gate is open. The sound did not come from my microphone. It can only have come from his microphone.
Right, Anthony, there's people in chat that seem to not know who GeoStreamer is. Now, if they've only just been introduced to the flat Earth and to this debate, can you sort of like describe a few people, including GeoStreamer, Sean Hufford, Slice Barcane, Reds Rhetoric? Who are these type of guys? You know, the SciManDan, or you know, can you go through the list and explain A, how long they've been on flat Earth or ball Earth, and B, what their reputation is in that particular, you know, segment of the debate?
All right. One of the main protagonists, I don't know whether the word self-promoted or self-righteous, Sean Hufford, seems to have gained some element of respect amongst the sheep on the ball Earth side. And he's been around a while, and his background is audio, according to him. He works in a superstore, Walmart, and as far as I can tell, it's his hobby, right? Doesn't mean he's skilled at it, but he's better than me, right? And I've got to kind of bow to his authority on the sound, because I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't profess to know what I'm doing, but when I watch his authority work that he claims to be good at, it dawns on me that this works both ways, and I'm relying entirely on Sean's interpretation, and I don't know what he's talking about. So Sean's the guy that's been around the longest, as far as I'm aware. GeoStreamer is a German national. He's been to numerous universities and studies chemistry. And he is generally, to be honest with you, GeoStreamer's a normal kind of guy until he goes online. When he goes online, he becomes a two-faced little shit. He gives me all the bad names ever possible, but once he's offline, he's normal with me. So anyone that's two-faced like that is paranoid, well, schizophrenic at least. You have 2 personas, 2 personalities. You have a normal, real-world one. We talk about cars, we talk about VW and how shit they are compared to Fords that are fantastic. And we're just normal. We talk about football, you know, the usual kind of stuff that blokes talk about. Don't talk about women. Don't know why, but we don't talk about women. And we talk about stuff, right? And then you have Soundly. Soundly comes into the world as the Pontchartrain guy, the guy that's done the pylons over Lake Pontchartrain, showing all that lovely curvature over a short distance of just 18 miles. And then what do you know? Ranty comes up with an 18-mile observation from Barrow and Finesse, same distance, flat as a pancake, right the way down to the street level. And if the Earth was spherical, of course, then we would validate and verify Soundly's work. But what do you know? We don't get it. So either he lives in a weird climate where there's bizarre things going on to do with temperatures and moisture in the atmosphere, or he's faking it. Now, I'm happy to say that I think he's faking it and he's full of shit. But whether he is or not, I don't really care. But we don't get the same evidence when we do our 18-mile observations. So something's wrong somewhere.
Well, hang
Can
on,
I
wait a
point
minute.
out where it is? No. But I know he's doing something dodgy. So between GeoStreamer and Soundly, they had a hangout in the background that I was not aware of. It was supposed to be a one-on-one with me and Geo, but Geo was having somebody talk to him in the background. Turns out it was Soundly. And the only reason why I heard it was because a guy in Nathan's chat called Jimmy, which obviously is not his real name, came in and started quoting stuff. And I was waiting for it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I kept asking the question. And eventually somebody came in and gave me an answer. And it just so happened to be the answer that I've been waiting for. Now, that tells me that there's some element of credibility to that particular answer. But the effect of it was that it affected something called the angular size. Now, I'm going to restate my position because the ballers hate this because it's true. But they use it as a mockery thing against me. Angle size is a measurement. Angular size is a sum. So basically, if you measure an angle, that doesn't give you the angular size of something. You need to know its distance. Or you need to know its actual size. Because anybody that knows anything about trigonometry will know that you need three things to work it out. You need either two sizes and an angle, or two angles and a size. Either way, you need three. Now, we have one. We have a measured angle, but we don't have the distance, and we don't have its actual size. So I'm asking the question currently, what's the size of what's the distance to the sun? And how do we know? And the answer, according to science, is 93 million miles. What's the evidence? Doesn't seem to be any. Well, that's a bit of a problem. So because Jimmy came into one of Nathan's chats, made an assertion that I knew about, I jumped on the mic I was in a sofa position. I jumped up and you can hear me scrambling for the mic. And I said, whoa, what's going on there, Jimmy? But the effect of it was that I went back into an old hangout with GeoStreamer because I wanted to re-listen to what the conversation was. And I heard something in the background and I thought, that sounded a bit weird. So I went on my computer, I downloaded the Hangout, and I put it through a bit of voice thing, a bit of a sound thing to amplify what I just heard. And what do you know? Somebody's in the background talking. Initially, I did think it was Sean, right? Turns out it was Soundly. Who cares? Somebody's in the background that shouldn't be there. So I was like, Nathan, what do you think of this? And he was like, wow, maybe they're coaching each other. I said, it does sound like that, but if I get this wrong, I'm going to look like a dick. And he's like, nah, that definitely sounds like he's coaching him. He said, who do you think it is? And I said, I reckon it's Sean. Deep voice, definitely talks the talk. Got to be Sean. Turns out it was Soundly. I was wrong. Hold my hands up. Got it wrong. Who cares? Somebody's in the background. So then Nathan said, just publish it and see what happens. So I did. I pointed the finger, poked the bear, and what do you know? There was a response. Sean comes out all ablaze and he blamed it on me because I mentioned his name. Fair enough, I did. And I got it wrong. Hold my hands up. But somebody was in the background of that hangout. Turns out it was actually Soundly, and we all agree it was actually Soundly. Sean and Soundly do sound similar. I can't distinguish between the dialects and the accents. So it's, an English guy getting the dialects wrong. Fair enough. But point is, somebody was in the background. Now we know who. We want to know what was being said. It took us ages to work out what was being said. But GeoStreamer asks a question. The question was, where is it? Down here, right? And then Soundly responds and says, yeah, and go back to that definition he cites too. So whatever's going on between these two in this mid-conversation, for whatever reason, his microphone's picked it up. I've been blamed for it. These two basically went to Sean and said, we need to sort this out. Can't have Riley having something on us. Let's bury this. Sean has then led basically a three-way conspiracy to hide this, to make it look like I've done something wrong. I have no idea what was going on, but I know that it wasn't me. And between them three, this massive triage of nonsense, liars, deceivers, they've tried slurring me in every possible angle possible. Every one of them. I haven't done anything wrong this time. I haven't made a mistake this time. Sure, I do get things wrong. I did get the Foucault's pendulum guy wrong. I didn't know there was two blokes that lived in the same city in the same country with the same surname that happened to be philosophers. I know one of them was a physicist, but let's be honest, a physicist that works in the heliocentric model is essentially a philosopher. I thought it was the same guy, but I made a mistake. I hold my hands up, and they're all laughing at me for it. That's fine.
Flat
What are you
earthers
guys
do
going to do
that.
about this?
we hold our hands up. If we're wrong, that's what we do.
Yeah.
You know,
We get shit wrong because there's no science for a flat Earth, right? So we can get stuff wrong. And, you know, they make a massive deal out of it as though I've killed somebody. Well, guess what? Now GeoStreamer and Soundly were having a little two-way conversation in the background on our Hangout that was supposed to be one-on-one with me. Tables have turned now, haven't they? But I could never prove what was going on because I didn't know how to. Somebody's come to me and said, I can help. And another guy said, I can help. And I said, what can you do to prove? And he said, have a look at this. And I was like, holy fucking Christ. It's like finding the Holy Grail. I mean, I feel like Indiana Jones. That's how good I feel right now. So you guys are going to feel the wrath in the next few days, maybe a week. Don't know. We'll draw it out as long as necessary, but we're going to drum this up and we're going to promote it and advertise it. And basically, we're going to sing it from the rooftops like little summer birds, choir birds, because I can prove that my microphone was shut, right? Okay. No sound frequencies were coming from my microphone at all. So you little morons have got some explaining to do because I can prove a negative.
No, explain. They're just liars. They're just lying shit. And that's been pretty obvious to most people all along.
Yeah, but I couldn't prove a negative. But on this occasion, I can, because somebody, thankfully, has come to my help and said the only reason I got involved was because he said a key phrase. I don't know what the phrase, I can't remember what the phrase was, but somebody came to my help because they can do it. And literally, if you know what you're doing and you've got the software to do it, which is extremely expensive, you put them two things together and they'll just say, yeah, it's just like turning the kettle on. That's all you need to do. But if you don't know it, then you don't know it. It's like being in a pub quiz. The question's only easy if you know it. Well, these guys know it, and they've given me the results already, or one of them has, and I'm looking at it, I'm going like, hallelujah.
They were amazing. They were so keen to help you. It's because these guys are assholes, and people do want to help you show the truth when they know they're lying. It's like, okay, these assholes will hold us to account for any minor infraction that they see. Yeah. When it comes to their blatant, outright, overt lies, they're more than happy to literally lie to people's faces. How are you getting on in the chat, by the way? Hope you've all left them a few messages asking about this.
Hey, just go to Sean Huffer's channel and just ask him, hey, audio guy, have you worked out how which microphone's open yet? Riley's going to bum you or something like that. Just say something.
Come on, you can't say that.
Listen, I don't care. We're not on Nathan's show now. I can be rude, right? What are the rules? Are you allowed to swear?
No, you can say what you want, mate.
Brent gets 2,000 subs and suddenly it's ass on it, man. It's not important.
Well, to be honest with you, I just love the fact that somebody's come to my aid because Sean Hufford's a liar. That's really what motivated one of the guys. And I'm fine with that because I know that this guy's a liar, right? I've never really been able to prove it because getting evidence and evaluating evidence, there's a difference, right? And if you've not got the evidence to evaluate, then you can't evaluate it. But somebody's given me it, and now I'm looking at it. I'm like, holy fuck, this proves that my microphone was shut. So I'm going to sing it like a little songbird, and you guys are all going to dance to my tune because I'm the one that can prove what's going on now. It's not open to interpretation anymore. It's not open to Sean being audio guy. It's open to me. I can prove it. I can prove that my microphone was silent. Not a single frequency was coming through my microphone. That means it's all down to GeoStreamer. So guess what? You guys are all at my mercy. And I will choose when I decide to reveal this, where I decide to reveal this. Oh, and I'm going to drum it up for weeks. Don't know how long I should push this for, Nathan. Do you think 3 days, 5 days, a week?
Long enough for them to think you're bluffing and lie through their back teeth a little bit more.
Yeah, they probably think I'm bluffing now. Well, guess what, boys? If I was bluffing, I wouldn't be this confident, cocky, and arrogant about it. But you guys fucking deserve it.
Anthony, tell me, we know this SciManDan is appeared on the scene very recently, and let's say 2 months ago he had less than 1,000 subscribers. In what capacity would you rate SciManDan as regards to people like Red's Rhetoric, Sean?
Well, he must have the biggest dick, mustn't he? Anybody that gets that amount of subs in that amount of time must be doing something special, right? And I'll be honest, I don't see any. There's no science from him. I've never seen any science on any of his videos. I've seen, he presents himself to the millennials. He seems to appeal to the guys that are below, say, 30, because he looks, he's got a clean shaven look, and he's got those slightly wonky eyes that everybody takes pity on him for. But ultimately, there is no science. There is no evidence. And it's like that scene out of You know that scene out of Life of Brian where they're all in the Colosseum and they're trying to describe these. I'm just trying to remember what it is now. Isn't it? They're talking about something specific, and basically they're talking gibberish.
Clip. So it's about where they're trying to describe all the different anti-Roman groups that are in there. The People's Front of Judea. There's the Popular Front of Judea. There's the what's the other one? The People's Front of Judea. The Judean People's Front, right? And they're going through it, and they're like, "Yeah, you fucking hate the Popular Front, bastard." Yeah, and the People's Front of Judea. We hate those two. We're the People's Front of Judea, are we? Yeah. Well, I thought we were the Popular Front. No, we're not the Popular Front. Well, where's the Popular Front? He's over there.
Yeah. So, but my point is that all of his subs seem to be, yeah, guys, not the guys with the message, the guys that are following. Yeah. So SciManDan said it. Yeah. So the question was today, well, where's the science for the current science for the distance to the sun? So it's like heliocentricity, like rule 101. We live in we orbit the sun. How far away is it? And I asked him because he's SciManDan. So he must have a bit of science in him, right? He didn't give any science whatsoever. He gave the story, and I expressly stated in the video, I don't want the rhetoric. I know the rhetoric. I understand it, right? I want to see the proof. I want to see the science. I want to see what is the current science for the distance to the sun. SciManDan gave us absolutely nothing. No, stand corrected. He did give us a convex lens, but that came from Conspiracy Cats. So SciManDan himself didn't give us anything other than the official story when it came to the distance to Venus, and it's used by radar, and he didn't understand radar pulses. So
hang on, wait a minute.
Point.
He
gave us a lens.
He gave us a piece of glass.
Well, how is that a scientific hypothesis?
Well, at least it wasn't science, but it was the closest thing that he got.
What, a piece of glass? How does that even remotely resemble a formulated scientific hypothesis?
Because he told his listeners, Nathan, that he could prove it.
He was what?
He told his listeners that he could prove that the sun's rays were parallel.
No, what? How does that prove anything?
It doesn't, but he told his listeners, and most of his listeners are the guys that are like in Life of Brian, where they go, yeah. So they all think that he's proved the distance to the sun is far away. No, he got the scale completely and utterly misrepresented, right? And he probably did it on purpose because he now seems to be a little bit shilly, a little bit trolley, and I'm calling bullshit. You didn't give any science, SciManDan, and your name indicates that you are science. Didn't see any science whatsoever. Why not?
I like the way the people backed him up in the chat today. The people like the Rumpus going, he doesn't need to do experimentation. He doesn't need a hypothesis to quote the results. It's like, if it's an experiment, if you're going to claim any of this shit is an experiment, then an experiment is a hypothesis test. So you absolutely would have a hypothesis backed by systematic experimentation. That's what science is. So when are we going to get that, SciManDan? Are we ever going to get any Sci from SciManDan?
No. I don't think SciManDan doesn't. His name must be Simon. Oops. His name must be Simon because SciManDan makes it sound like it's science, but perhaps Sci means Simon and Dan is his middle name or his surname, because it can't possibly mean science. Because if it did mean science, and bear in mind that the Rumpus tells us all, it's the whole body of science, Nathan. When you ask these certain questions and like, where's your evidence for this? What's the whole body of science, Nathan? He makes it sound that you shouldn't have even asked the question. You must be a retard. But maybe Simon is actually Simon. Dan might be his real name, his middle name, or his surname. And maybe he doesn't do science at all, but it just so happens to be the case that it sounds like he does science and he's riding the wave because he certainly didn't put science in his video. Which is a bit of a problem if you're a heliocentric priest that worships SciManDan with his 50,000 subs in the last 3 months or so. Shout out to SciManDan.
In Indonesia, Korea, China. He's top of the lists when you search flat Earth in China. It's amazing.
I know, the messages that I got, or the hate messages, were badly grammatical. They were full of bad grammatical mistakes. So either all of his subs are retards, or none of them are English. One or the other.
I subscribed to SciManDan today.
What?
SciManDan best.
SciManDan kick your ass.
Me love SciManDan long time.
SciManDan also. I subscribed.
You from Liverpool? Beatles. Yeah, I love Beatles. What?
We love Beatlemania.
Yeah. The minute I say I'm from Liverpool, that's what I always get from people that are not in England. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, have you stolen any cars recently? And I'm like, fuck off.
Cheeky sod, you only have the wheels.
It's all good fun. Yeah, so SciManDan gives no evidence. GeoStreamer lies, soundly lies. Sean Hufford propagates the lie and conspires to hide it no matter what, even if he jeopardizes his own reputation for being audio guy. Rumpus claims the whole body of science, and when it comes to it, it turns out that there is none. Because, I mean, come on, how hard is it, right? You guys should be able to show us the distance to the sun, right? Where does it come from? Who did it? When did they do it? How did they do it? What's the proof, right? That's not difficult to do if you believe that we live on a sphere. What do you know? Doesn't seem to be any evidence. Just basically a story that everybody accepts to be true. It's embarrassing. Can you imagine if some bloke, some flat earther, right, in Birmingham, right, got 3 sticks in the ground and said the earth was flat and that was the proof? Wouldn't last 30 seconds. How does such a stupid statement with no evidence to support it, how did that make it into the history books? I wonder whether even Aristophanes even existed.
Well, they're covering the history hoax at the moment.
Yeah, the history hoax. History is what we're told, not what it actually is. I mean, how long have we been on the planet? Who put us here? You know, basic stuff. How did we get onto this planet? Who knows? Did we come from an ark? Probably not. Maybe. Who knows? We're told we had a world war against Hitler, etc., and all that kind of stuff. Is it actually true? Who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But we are told we live on a ball, and there's a whole body of science that supports it. And what do you know? When we come to test it and ask for the proof, the Rumpus can't do it. SciManDan can't do it. Yet somehow SciManDan's got 50,000 subs. Rumpus, people listen to him. And he can't even have a conversation. He got kicked from GeoStreamer's hangout recently because he was rumpusing his own hangout with his mates. Shout out to Rumpus.
Did you know that I did some mathematics today with the amount of distance that the Earth will travel in 1 hour? So in our solar system, the Earth will move. How far do you think in 1 hour?
Fuck, so it's 93. Yeah, let's do some basic maths. 93 million miles for the distance to the sun. So double.
No, the orbit of the Earth.
Yeah, I know.
The orbit of the Earth. Come on.
Yeah, so you got to work out the circumference, and then you got to divide by 360, right? So I'm guessing 93, double that. So it's 93 is 180.
No, you're way off.
Hang on. I'm just doing some quick arithmetic. So I reckon it's going to be 150 divided by 360. So let's just do some maths. Hang on. Just this quick off the top of my head. Where's the calculator button? Where is it? There it is. Let's try it. So 93 million miles. So 180. So
no, you didn't listen to the question.
Yeah, how far will it travel in 1 hour?
How far will the Earth apparently move in their bullshit model over 7.6 minutes?
Oh, right. I thought you said in an hour.
Or in an hour. Yeah, sorry. In an hour, how far will it travel? Go on.
So you got to work out the circumference. What is the circumference of the Earth's orbit? Isn't that pi r squared or 2 pi r? It's one of them two.
Well, do you know what the diameter is?
The diameter of the sun.
The Earth.
The diameter of the Earth.
Do you know what the radius is?
8,000
well, no.
miles,
Well,
right?
hang on, wait a minute. Do you know what the radius is?
4,600
What, miles?
miles. Yeah.
Not far off.
Well, 4,567.
Well, have a guess. Anyway, just guess.
The radius is about 4,500 miles, is it not?
How far does it travel in 1 hour?
Oh, in 1 hour.
The Earth.
It's
got
to be fucking huge.
Let me tell you.
Go on.
6,666 miles. 0.66666.
So is that in 1 hour?
In 1 hour.
All right. So 6,666.
0.6666.
So divide that by 7 minutes to get the distance of Venus. So it travels just under 1,000 miles. And he's telling me that a ping that bounces off, and it's only the ping part that's perpendicular to Venus. That's the only bit that comes back. Everything else gets missed. You're telling me that it travels 952 miles and it still picks up a ping from something that was bounced off perpendicular to Venus. That's utter garbage. Prove that assertion. Right, let's suggest. Let's see who we see in chat. Is there anybody that wants to join? We will give links out if we're able to get in pretty easy contact with you.
Really? I wouldn't advise that.
I think I might have been wrong there, though. Too many beers. I think I actually might have been wrong. I think it was 1111.11111 per 1 minute. And when I worked it out to 7.6 miles, or hang on, let me figure it out. But it was definitely a lot of sixes in there.
Well, you have to remember the circumference of a circle is either pi r, 2 pi r or pi r squared. I can't remember which. So,
hang on, let me get this right. So, right, here we go. So, right.
Yeah, it's 2 pi r. Right, so we need to know the radius of the sun. Anybody know the radius of the sun?
Not the radius of the sun. We're talking about the Earth here, right?
Yeah, I know, but to get the distance, we need to know the circumference of the orbit, right? So we need to know the pi r squared. So right, the radius. All right, so it's 93 million. So it's 2 pi.
No. The Earth travels 584 million miles in its orbit every year. So every year it travels 584 million miles, right? So when we get 584 million miles and we divide that by 365, we actually get per day. So per day, it travels 1.6 million miles.
Well, I know I've got the circumference for the orbit, for the total distance of the orbit over a year. It's 5.84 times 10 to the power 8, right? Which means nothing to anybody, right? Unless you understand this thing.
Well, hang on, wait a minute. Let me just finish. When you divide that number into hours, it was hours. Sorry, my mistake. It wasn't per minute; it was per hours. So, for every hour that the Earth moves, it covers a distance of 66,666 miles. 0.66666. Yeah, go figure. So I got it right in the end at some point.
I'm just googling it because. Rum has set me free again tonight, so I'm all right.
Who?
Rum has set me free.
Why you're so loquacious?
We're both drinking then.
Yeah, rum's the juice that makes everything good. I wouldn't be like this if the thing is, right, Ranty becomes a bit of a dick when he's drinking.
I'm not a dick.
I just become loose with my tongue and I tell people what I really think.
Okay, what do you think of me?
You're a bit. Don't say anything when you're drinking. Sean Hufford. I feel sorry for Sean because he's the victim of the lies. Now, he either knew about it or he didn't. Soundly and Gio deserve to be attacked for the fact that they had the hangout in the background, but they haven't defended themselves. They've done it by proxy, so that makes Sean even worse. Slice Barcane, Knob, he knows the Earth's not a sphere. I don't know, who else is there? Who do you want to know?
So where would you rate SciManDan as like a flat Earth, ball Earth protagonist?
Let's be honest, he's a bit shilly, isn't he? Come on, see from nowhere, 50,000 subs quicker than I could have a shit. And then before you know it, like he's telling everybody stuff. And I'm like, what? And
you know, when we make these adverts, in effect, for this SciManDan, because we are actually promoting him in just by having his name in the title.
Yeah, best be grateful, SciManDan. We'll actually get grateful. Subs. You might get a few real people watching your videos that you haven't paid for. So yeah, best be grateful.
But who would you rather sort of like debate if it bearing in mind that SciManDan has already stated categorically that he will never debate a flat earther? Can you understand why he would do that?
Yeah, because he knows he's going to get cornered the minute he gets asked for evidence, and we've already kind of shown that that's the case. Because what do you know? He hasn't got any evidence of the distance of the sun, right? It's like Ball Earth 101. He can't do it. Bit of a problem if you call SciManDan. I don't even think he realizes that he's been dumped.
However, if you look at people like Red's Rhetoric, just on pure length of time that he's been in the debate, the fact that he has done his own research, the fact that he's actually been there probably every week for the past 2 or 3 years, you know, would you say that you would rather be listening to that guy who has built up his channel and has a reputation in Ball Earth, or would you rather believe this SciManDan who sits in a corner
No, they're all as dishonest as each other. All of them lie. All of them lie. All of them.
Okay, but who's the more real?
Well, what's real about Red's rhetoric?
Well, he's not. Well,
He's got a red car.
he's been around for a while.
No, sorry, he had a red car.
He's been around for a while. Right, listen.
Oh, God, Ranty, can you fix the camera on one of us just so you don't give the audience epilepsy?
I don't want to give him epilepsy.
It's like every time.
What's going on? Anthony, you need to change your... What the hell's going on there?
Is it because I'm screen sharing?
Probably.
Yeah, man, get a grip.
Yeah, you
can't get the admin these days.
What?
Oh, I thought, right, there you go. Has that fixed it?
As long as you're not screen sharing, that's fine, yeah. Too many rums, mate.
It's best way to be, chatty.
Chatty and drunk.
I don't even drink. Last time I drank was with Anthony. That was only because he paid for it.
Tight wad.
But I just don't drink. It's like he stuck, I think it was £20 in the super chat and was like, it's for rum and hookers. Well, I'm married, so the hookers aren't necessary. But the rum bit, I was like, yeah, okay, fine. I'll get drunk.
You missed the coke out of it, though.
I don't ever drink. It's not like I'm teetotal. I think that's the right phrase. But I will occasionally have a drink. I just don't drink. Whereas a lot of people, most people, get to Friday night. It's like, that's an excuse to drink. Really? It's just another day, isn't it? Why do you need to drink? But, more power to you.
Shout out to John Watson. His Coronation Street video was funny. Even though everyone's doing it now, it was like the first time I saw it was on John's channel.
Yeah, it's the first time I watched Coronation Street in probably 2 or 3 years. And it was only because somebody had said that the Flat Earth had been brought up on it. I didn't think that they did a bad job, to be fair.
Oh, come on, they got Kirk, the cleverest guy in Coronation Street, to be the guy that was involved in the Flat Earth conversation. It was like, to be honest, actually, blonde guy, I don't know what blonde guy's called, but blonde guy asked the question, right? Kirk played the ball earther that was a bit stupid. But what was really cool was, even though Kirk was a bit stupid, right, as the ball earther, that it was playing dumb, right? When he asked the question, yeah, but what experiments have you got that proves it? The guy in the blonde-haired guy, I don't know what his name is, but he responded by saying, well, I don't know, but, it is. And I was like, all right. So on the one hand, it was kind of like Kirk being the dumb. It was just weird. I wasn't even sure who was playing what role there, because I don't really watch Coronation Street anymore.
Are you talking about the old guy?
No, that was Ken Barlow. Everyone knows Ken. It was the blonde.
Thanks for watching.
It was the blonde kid that I don't know what his name is. The blonde kid. Come on, someone must know his name. You know the guy I mean.
I'm waiting for someone in chat to say it.
Somebody in chat tell me who the blonde kid. What's his name? It looks like he's a Nick. Nick with no L. Anybody in chat?
I guess nobody in chat watches Coronation Street. Probably not.
Stop talking amongst yourselves. Pay us attention.
Me. It's about us.
Milky Bar Kid. Yeah, that's who we're talking about. I don't know what his name is. Nathan, you're on the panel. You don't count. Come on, somebody give us the name. The blonde kid at the bar that brought up Flat Earth on Coronation Street.
Shane Walter.
He was called Herman.
He's not called Herman.
Well, that's what Arwin said.
Geo Streamer. We should call him Geo Streamer. That'd be good.
Arwin said, fucking hell.
No, Kirk's the other guy. Kirk's the dopey one. I know who Kirk is. Not Ken Barlow. There was Kirk's missus, Ken Barlow, and the blonde-haired kid. Who's that? He looks like he's called Nick.
You get rid of your TV to try and escape this shite, and then you end up talking about it the second they mention Flat Earth.
Bill Miller. It was Bill Miller.
It was Bill.
Bill Miller.
We found him.
I didn't escape to Corrie just to drop a subtle hint about Flat Earth.
So does nobody in chat know what this blonde kid's called on Coronation Street? He's not made it, has he, if no one knows who he is?
Tiny Tim? Ken's lad?
Yeah, I think it is Ken's lad.
What do you mean
Ken's
you think it's Ken's lad? This is a fiction. I hate soap operas. Such
Cliche. So nobody watches Coronation Street. This is bad. It's like our English heritage thing.
Hang on, we're told that like 10 million people a week watch this. I mean, it's like that's 1 in 5 people. Well, you know, how come nobody knows this? We've got 80 people watching. It's like, what the hell?
That's good. That's good. That's a good gauge of your audience. I am very proud of the audience right now. Everybody in the audience, tap yourselves on the back. Right.
The name of the lad is Aristarchus. No, it's the dodo.
Yeah, RRP, absolutely right. Coronation Street is shit. TV is shit. It lies to you. Just don't watch it. It's garbage.
I don't watch Coronation Street, and Utes right.
Life
Nobody
is better
watches that
without
shit
TV.
here. Shout out to Utes because nobody in Flat Earth watches Coronation Street, which is really good.
I don't think you actually has time to watch telly.
He's permanently in chat, isn't he?
He's permanently in somebody's chat.
Yeah.
He's like everywhere.
Utes like Yoda.
He's like water.
He's like Yoda.
Yoda, yeah, he's like boom, 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 and you'll go into different chats and he's there, and he's the moderator there, and then you'll go somewhere else and he's just uploaded a video. How do we know that there isn't many Utes?
Nah, Utes just one guy, but Utes, I've heard Utes speak once. I can't remember who it was that posted it. It wasn't Ute, but it was just him talking from way back when.
I've got to give a shout out there. RRP says, I saw Richard Hillman kill the Platts. Richard Hillman was a Scouser. I'm sure he was. He was the best Scouser on Coronation Street. He killed half the Platts.
Who did?
Killed
Richard
the flats. What does that mean? Killed the flats.
Platts. Gail Platt. He didn't kill Gail Platt. He killed...
Flat. I thought you said flats.
He drove a car into the canal. I can't remember who was in it, but one of them died.
Oh,
Richard Hillman, he was great. It was that storyline was great, and I'm sure he was a Scouser.
somebody shoot me.
Some hyena saying no, he wasn't. Who was the Scouser then? There was a Scouser that went out with Gail Platt, and he killed half them. Who was that? Richard Hillman was excellent, though. That was a great storyline.
Oh, come on, EastEnders is better than that. If you're going to go in for people
No, it's not my show, is it? Shit. Oh, damn.
Come on, Grant Mitchell.
Somebody's saying that he wasn't a Scouser. I'm going to find out whether Richard Hillman was a Scouser or not. One of the boyfriends was.
Any Aussies in? Should we talk about Home and Away? About Neighbours. It's Kylie still on there.
They've got headache with all that blood running to the head.
Yeah, Telex. Prisoner Cell Block H. Yeah, let's talk about the oldie goldies.
B. I remember that.
And then Garbage Now. No soap opera's good for anybody ever. It's just bad. It's just a way of keeping you in a low vibration.
Oh, right. The only guy that died was himself. Everybody else survived. The Platts survived. They're like cockroaches, the Platts.
Hang on, wait a minute. So he didn't kill anybody. The Platts survived. None of them died.
Yeah, that's right.
You got it completely wrong.
I remember the storyline. I remember driving into the canal. That was ace.
Right, you need to hold your hands up and apologise now to the chat.
What you mean? Because I got something wrong on Facebook, on YouTube.
You did, yeah. I mean, because you're a flat earther, you'll do that.
Right, dear beloved viewers watching Ranty's channel right now, I wrongly stated that Richard Hillman killed somebody in the Platts family. I was wrong. He only killed himself. But I'm pretty sure he was a Scouser.
No, we didn't. This is a bloody soap opera. None of this happened. Nobody died. Nobody got hurt.
I'm just trying to.
It was just made for TV. Right.
Can you prove it? I want your scientific proof.
Before he drove into the canal and the other Platts got out and he didn't get out. And Gail, I'm reading on Wikipedia, so it must be true. Gail Platt identified the body at the side of the road, at the side of the canal.
Did they find a passport?
Yeah, there's always a random passport. Yeah. Shout out to the 9/11 arguments.
Talking of the 9/11 argument, Richard Hull put a really good video together. So I don't know if anybody's... You subscribe to Richard D. Hall?
No. No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll dig out one of his videos and stick a link in the chat. But he's just done a whole series on 9/11, and I really enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed his take on it. It wasn't actually his video. It was, I think it's a mirror from someone else, but because he was featured in it, he did mirror the entire series. I think it was a 7-part series, but it went through all of the different conspiracies that have gone through the mill about 9/11. And attack them on their evidence. It's right up your street. I'm surprised you're not subscribed to him, Anthony.
Well, to be honest, 9/11 is something that I've kind of like lost interest in because I realized that what they told us was not true. I don't really need to know what happened. I'm happy that what they told us is not true, which is kind of the same in Flat Earth. I don't really know what it is. I just know that it's not a spinning testicle that rotates slowly over a long period of time, and all this nonsense about the sun orbits and all this nonsense about planets that are all, we just see lights in the sky, but I don't know that what it is, and I'm all right with that. I just know what it's not. So it could be flat, but it also could be 4th or 5th dimensional, and we just don't know. I mean, I think that, to be honest, I think that P900 mod with the infrared lens thing removal, that tells me that the cameras are capable of seeing what the eye can't, and they have to filter it out so that the camera doesn't see what the eye can not see, and then people realize that we live on a flat plane. I think that was an intentional move by Nikon, or probably all cameras, to backwards engineer the camera so that we don't see shit we're not meant to see. I don't know why it would be there otherwise. I mean, it seems that somebody's realized that this will show that the Earth's flat if we show them this. Let's put a filter in the way. That's how I interpret it. Call me a little bit crazy, but it seems to be intentional.
Can I just entice you with some of the names of the videos that Rich Hall's got out, just so you can get a gauge of what type of videos he's making? So, social media psyops. We've got the Madeleine McCann campaign. The Madeleine stuff he's done is exceptionally good. Analyzing the astronauts, where he goes through their testimonies. 10 Years of Rich Planet. It's been around a while. The Joe Cox assassination. The Jill Dando assassination.
Jill Dando,
a few of the stuff. He's not a flat earther. He is actually a globehead. So yeah, he does some stuff on space, Final Frontier. He is skeptical, so he's skeptical about the moon landings and various other things, but I just don't think he's got to flat Earth. Alchemy is the one I'll share now. Alchemy of 9/11. But his most recent is that I've watched, Spying on the Spooks. I don't know if it's done any since. Yeah, Spying on the Spooks, where he's doing an interview with a guy about MI5 and MI6. Absolutely fascinating. But yeah, I'll stick the Alchemy of 9/11 one in your chat, Runty, so people can check him out. Like I say, he's not a flat earther. If you're a flat earther and you don't like the fact that he's not a flat earther, then you're a wanker. Don't give him shit. That's just not necessary. But yeah, I'll stick a link in your chat if that's good by you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I think it's really interesting that Flat Earth was brought up on Corrie, though. Regardless of whether you like Corrie or don't watch it or whatever, the fact that it made it onto there, that's got to be a tip of the cap to somebody somewhere. Somebody must be watching for that to make it onto Coronation Street. It's like, imagine being a music artist and you get your song played in the Rovers in the background. That's kind of like what a lot of people say that is kind of in the Northwest, at least. If music gets played on one of the key soaps like EastEnders or Corrie or whatever, that's kind of, you've made it. Well, it's kind of like Flat Earth's made it, because if it's on Corrie, somebody somewhere must be watching it, because why would it be on there otherwise, right? So shout out to whoever it was that might be watching Nathan Oakley 1980, because somebody must be watching something somewhere.
Yeah, in 2 years' time, I guarantee in 2 years, this is what I was saying in my video before, which was in 2 years' time, I genuinely feel that probably at least half of the population will be woken up, at least to the fact that they've looked into Flat Earth, right? At least to that point. And this is why I genuinely think it's going.
Yeah, and John Watson brings up a good point. It would have been recorded at least a month ago. Maybe not as much as a month, but I reckon it's probably like 2 weeks or so. But either way, yeah, I mean, the fact that Flat Earth on Coronation Street, that's just probably one of the best adverts ever.
So, Nathan, you mentioned Madeleine McCann. What does this guy come to the conclusion in regards to that? Because it's my feeling that the parents... might be saying, not saying as much as the, they could do. I think they might be hiding some things.
Yeah, he thinks they killed her. And so do the sniffer dogs.
Yeah, the sniffer
they
dogs
found her
do.
blood in the boot of the car, and for some reason that evidence doesn't seem to have been addressed or
It's been suppressed by the British media and the British government, which is what he exposes.
But why though? Why are these people so well connected and protected?
Well, he suspects, or at various different points, he hints that it's down to the paedophilia networks. So he has, I think it was in the more recent one, actually. I don't think this was in the Madeline one. It might have been in Exposing the Spooks or whatever that one was called. But yeah, in that particular video, he's basically saying that he's of the opinion that they basically bribe politicians or own politicians, whoever they may be, the innocent secret services. But yeah, they'll basically entrap them, and then they own them. They'll do whatever they like because they've got video of them doing stuff they shouldn't, and it's in some way connected to that. That was kind of what he was hinting at, and it kind of makes more sense when you watch a few more of his videos and he exposes various other things that are going on. So yeah, that was his conclusion. There's also various different bits of testimony from people that are even, kind of on their side or went out to dinner with them, where they've explained that one of their close doctor friends, who was very cagey in interview, if you listen to his interview, I can't remember his name, but one of the doctors.
Greg T says that Jem Panda might know where she is.
Really? She's
Shout
dead.
out to Greg T.
She's dead. She's dead. There's no two ways about that. She's not been kidnapped. That's just some bullshit narrative made up by the press. She was never kidnapped. Anyway,
Yeah, she's dead.
But yeah, there was one doctor that one of the testimonies basically explained that there was a conversation between Jerry McCann and this doctor friend that was there on one of the rabble of people that were out there on holiday, and he's rubbing his nipple with one hand and sucking his finger with the other, and saying, "Will she do that?" And the impression that the person who was giving this testimony got was that they were talking about Madeline, and you're like, people are fucking sick. But anyway, like I say, check out Richard Hall's expose of this. He has done, as far as I'm concerned, more work on Madeleine McCann than anybody else on the internet, bar none. So if you want to know about Madeleine McCann, watch Richard Hall's video on it. I'll link that as well.
So the guy that did the investigation over there, I know he wrote a book about this. And he's also been cast, in some respects, he's been sort of like demonized in the British press. So what do you think of him? Do you think he handled it correctly? Do you think he found all the evidence? Do you think it was suppressed and he found it?
Who are you talking about?
The police officer that investigated the case, he took over and he wrote a book about Madeleine McCann.
Fair enough. I don't know.
You don't? Right, okay.
And to be honest, I don't know. There's 72 people watching now, and the Madeleine McCann thing is kind of limited. Like, is she dead? Probably. Can we prove it? Maybe not. But what we can prove is that there are 3 musketeers in the flat Earth side, or on the ball Earth side at least, that lie through their assholes. And I just want people to know that Riley's making big assertions, bold assertions. And if you haven't been over to Sean's channel or GeoStreamer's channel, please go over there and just give him a bit of shit. Just say Riley's going to expose you 3 lying musketeers as the liars and the deceivers that you all are. So go over to GeoStreamer or Sean Hufford and just post stuff on his channel, on his most recent video, and say, you're a liar. We can prove it. Riley's going to fucking wreck you. Something like that. Anything. I don't really care. Just tell him that anything. I don't really care because it's coming.
Can I just say that there's I do have a lot of mods in the chat right now, and it literally is if you see a troll that's in here and they say something that is essentially, you feel like they need banning for it, don't hold back, ban those motherfuckers. Just do it. Just hit it. Just ban them. Don't hide them.
Can somebody pick off Rock Lover?
Yes, I did.
Yay! Bye, Rock Lover.
So I've just popped. It's the confessions video. So he has a voice, an analyst go through their various interviews, and he focuses more on the Australian interviews that they did than anything. but it's a good 2 or 3 hours of him basically analysing all of this stuff and, you know, pulling out their embedded confessions and various other things. If you've watched Anthony's analysis of GeoStreamer and Soundly, you'll know what an embedded confession is.
Right, guys, I just want to ask in the chat, you know, I've never heard of this guy before, Spirit of Longthorn, and he says that he would ban the trolls, but he hasn't a wrench. So if anybody can vouch for this guy, post your support in the...
Chris Berry can have a wrench. He's been in Nathan's chat a few times. I've kicked him a few times thinking he was Chris Cross.
Nathan, you're always sick.
Yeah, it's because he's got a little kid.
Okay.
He is always sick.
It's not my kid, it's the other kids in all the classes. I just put that in the chat, actually. So you go to Spanish class, or you go to Gymboree, or you go to swimming, or you go to wherever I'm going. I do them almost every day. And there's always half a dozen other snotty kids there. And obviously they're running around and, you know, they're just touching stuff. So you generally walk around with a cold all the time.
Okay, you've heard of I'm Sorry. Remember he used to come in and snipe? He was literally, I think he was anyway, at least a dozen times in the chat sniping. Recently, he seems to have calmed down, but is he worth a wrench?
I'm Sorry, as far as I know, is Chris MCM.
Yeah, I do too. So, fastest finger first, guys. I'm Sorry. Who can ban that motherfucker?
This is just a...
This is my channel, Nathan. This is how I deal with those trolls on my channel.
All are welcome. Nathan Oakley 1980. All are welcome.
Nathan, you know, you're welcome over at Nathan's. You can be sorry over there, mate.
Check it out. Jose's doing a bit of teabagging.
I noticed that. Hidden, unhidden, hidden, unhidden. Yeah, cool. Apparently, Arwin needs a wrench.
Yeah.
Chocolate's cool. Chocolate.
Right, guys in the chat. Okay, I'm going to ask this again. So, do you think Arwin needs a wrench?
No.
So, if you guys in the chat feel that Arwin needs a wrench,
no.
say yes or no. Right, banana cam, no.
Actually, Arwin needs banning. Do you want somebody just time Arwin out just for the fun? Shits and giggles.
Don't ban Arwin.
No, not banning. Just time him out.
Banning him? No, I won't do that. No, I won't ban him. Don't be ridiculous. But I will give Earth Flattener a wrench for sure.
Your chat room's now looking like an IPS chat room. It's like a Blue Wrench Lodge.
Yeah, but it's cool. You know, it's full. It literally is full of the coolest people that we've seen on Flat Earth. Everywhere I go, these guys, they're either moderators in other chats, or you know, they're at least doing their own work, and they're all Flat Earthers, genuine Flat Earthers. I don't need the trolls in here.
We've not seen for a while. Cat's Eyes, is she still about?
Cat's Eyes, no, I haven't seen her for ages.
I haven't seen her. Last thing I saw or heard of her, she was getting trolled by someone. I can't remember who it was now. I can't remember even what it was about, but I've not seen her for months. So that's where we're at the moment.
Somebody timed out. Oh, it was legendary super looming perspective enigma hyena timed out Arwin as a joke.
Arwin, we love you really, but that gravity thing's got to go.
I do actually care for Arwin because
I like Arwin. I don't have anything personal against Arwin, but I just don't like the fact that he still hangs on to this gravity thing, even though he admits there's no evidence to support that it's true. He still holds on to it, and it's like,
Just have to say, direction's relative.
I don't think he understands it though.
That's all you need to say.
Shout out to Hyena anyway.
Yeah,
Hyena's cool.
to Hyena. Hyena's ace. He's done Ranty in my intros, and I'm not gonna be bitter about this, but Ranty's is a bit better than mine. So Flat Earth intro and the Flat Earth debate. Now, I'm not moaning in the slightest. It is absolutely awesome. I'm so pleased. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. I really am grateful.
And I do love my introduction. I really do. The more I play it, the more I like it. It's just great. I've started putting it on all of my videos, so it's cool. He even did a 6-minute intro in case I ever do a Jeranism where, you know, they've got the 5-minute countdown and stuff, you know, for going live, and I can have that playing in the background, which was really cool as well. Maybe you should do that, Nath.
Do what now?
You know, have like a, you know, at 5 minutes to countdown, you have a video playing that's like a 5-minute video. Instead of your introduction, it's got like a literal 5-minute.
If there's anybody out there that can get like superimpose like Sean Hufford's face on some, you know, that scene out of Porky's where, not Porky's, what's that scene where that squealing pig's in the background that Nathan hates?
Deliverance.
Yes, the Deliverance scene with Sean's face on it. That would be great. Because it'll just turn everybody off. But yeah, Sean Hufford is a liar. He propagates his lies, or he projects all of his devious behaviour onto me, passes me off as some kind of whatever, and all of his stupid subs are stupid enough to take his word for it, regardless of what evidence he presents. And I'll be honest, I don't know anything about sound, but I realise that he doesn't either. So that's why somebody else has come to my help and just said, here we go, take my hand. And he's shown me a glorious picture that shows that Sean is either reckless, incompetent, or just dishonest. And I'm going to go with dishonest. So
I'm going to
when
go
it comes to it,
definitely dishonest.
yeah, when it comes to it, and we're going to big it up in the next few days because we want maximum exposure for the deception, lies, and covering up. It's like when our government, the English government, like covered up one of the atrocities, you name it, Hillsborough, for example, then he's doing that. He's trying to hide it the way the government hid the Hillsborough disaster. That's how bad it is, right? Yeah, sure. I got Focourt's name wrong. I got the wrong Focourt. I didn't try and hide a crime, though. That's what Sean's done. Liar.
The other thing I remember from Porky's, and it's like the glory hole scene, is that big gym teacher, that lady, Russian or
German, with the sack hanging out in this while she's talking to that kid,
and she's like, she goes, and she sort of like runs in to grab his cock as it's hanging out of the fucking hole, and it's like, holy shit! And everyone's egging him on, saying, keep it there, and she grabs a hold of it, and it's like that. I mean, come on, she would pull it off.
Yeah, she says
she would pull it off.
Headmaster, right? And she says, headmaster, she says, I want all the boys to show me their penises. I'd recognise that penis anywhere. And the headmaster's like, no.
Yeah, she says that. She does. And it's like, well, would you feel it as well? I mean, because she grabbed a hold of that motherfucker. I mean, seriously? Yeah, that's just bad. Really bad.
Porky's was the bar. So most of it took place in the school, but it was actually the bar that was Porky's. A strip bar.
Oh, right. So it's kind of like Hooters kind of thing.
Yeah, basically. It's like it's been a long time since I've watched Porky's. But I seem to remember there being like a guy holding something that was like on a sign that went up and down that said Porky. No, that was it. It had lights that went down that said Porky's on it. Something like that. But it's a bar, you know, it's just a bar that they wanted to go to. But they kept in, you know, they're not getting in because they're too young, basically.
Yes, it was. It was like a bar on a lake or something.
Yeah, so they try and sneak in, and then one of the deputies catches them and takes a disliking to them, and he's like, right, I'm going to write you out some tickets. And he goes, well, for what? And he grabs his torch, smashes one of the lights, and he goes, there you go, broken light.
Yeah.
Smashes one of the tail lights, there you go, broken indicator.
Yeah. That's because police don't always tell the truth, but we won't go there.
There's so many symbolisms in videos and stuff that are like, okay, they are telling us the truth. The Truman Show, for instance, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know, all these old films. And when you look back at them and you realize what they're actually saying, they're doing it in plain sight.
Sorry.
Was that a hangout in the background?
It was a hangout in the background.
Who did you have on in the background? What are you doing?
What it was, I've just opened a message on my phone that's got it's a message on what it's on. Whose hangout is it? I think it's it's on Sean's.
It doesn't matter. We'll get audio guy to sort it out.
Yeah, audio guy, gotta love me. I'm full of shit and tell lies, but everyone believes me.
Are you being fed by the Morgal right now?
Yeah, it was the Morgal playing in the background.
Does it sound like?
No, apparently it's not sounding anymore. It's now the Morgal.
Audio guy will sort it out.
Audio guy.
I'll find out who you were talking to whilst you were talking to me, pretending to be my friend, whilst deliberately trying to misrepresent me on my live stream. I'll find out.
Stop in traffic in my Rasta hat.
I just realised that it was a comment on Sean's channel, and I didn't even realise that when I left the comment on Sean's channel that everyone's jumped all over. It was on Sean's channel in the first place. That was a mistake. I don't know how I even done that, but anyway, point is, what was I saying there? Yeah, so I opened up a video. That was what it was, and it came through. So yes, hold my hands up. I played a snip just then from a hangout, and it was Sean's hangout. Damn.
Wow. Playing Sean's hangout on my channel.
I know. I'm so sorry. Please don't kick me.
Can you? Well, don't even go there. Don't even go. I don't even want to speak to you anymore.
Check it out. Arwen's got a sock called Arwinian Gravity. Woo woo woo.
That's how we built.
That's awesome. Kudos, Ranty. Well, kudos, Arwen.
He joined your hangout with that, and I didn't know it was him or not because I'd never seen it before. So I had to kick him because I thought it was a troll. So I had to kick him. But
you both had
told me it was him.
What was yours called? So you got CGI Ranty, and what was
CGI
the other?
Ranty? No, CGI Ranty is not me.
Oh, no, it's not you.
I asked for a CGI Sleeping Warrior, and then I got one, and then I've never seen him again. That's not good.
No. But the funny thing is, right, when CGI Ranty first came out, he was like, he was sort of a troll and not a troll, and then he's tried to mimic me, literally, you know, with everything that he says about who he, you know, where he's been, you know, the observations he's done. He's literally becoming me, and people in the chat are believing that CGI Ranty is me.
Ranty, listen, celebrate truth. Robbie Davidson, he actually asked me, why does Ranty hate me? And I was like, I don't think he's ever spoken to me about you. What are you on about? And he showed me a snip, and it was CGI Ranty, and he was just giving Robbie Davidson a load of shit. And Robbie's one of the nicest guys in the whole of Flat Earth, and so doesn't deserve it. So CGI Ranty, stop it.
Yeah. CGI Ranty is like.
I occasionally get that. I get someone says, "Oh, there's some sock account that's out there that said something really vicious, and they're just pretending to be you." And I go, "Oh, let's have a look." And they go, "Here you go." And I go, "No, that's me."
You're a nasty cunt, Nate.
9 times out of 10, it's actually me. It's like,
Yeah.
I know it's actually me. And they're like, "Really?" Yeah, shocking, isn't it? I will sink to their level.
Hey, listen, we were on opposing sides not 10 months ago. Literally, we would. I mean, I think if we'd have met each other, we would have probably beaten each other to death and pulled each other's teeth out.
Let's be honest, Dave. Do you remember when you and Ranty first met and like, or not met, but
we never met.
Cross paths, and you're both doing hate videos, right? And whatever was going on.
Well, hang on, wait a minute. Let me just set the scene, right? What had happened was we was in Isa's chat, right? Isa Mahalski, and I just released a controversial video, right? So all of the ball earthers knew that if they approach somebody like Nathan, who's very skeptical and needs evidence and all that kind of stuff, if they showed a video to him that kind of made me look like a complete Burke, if he didn't know what you were talking about with chemtrails and stuff, then the first thing he's going to default to is he's a Burke, you know, that's what he did, you know. So when I'd seen that they were approaching Nathan in the chat, saying to him to look at the video. I was all for it because I didn't know what Nathan was like. I didn't know his personality, didn't know who he was. And it was like, okay, so he went and watched the video. When he came back, I was like, and he's like, nah, you're full of shit, Ranty. I was like, what the
The first thing me of lying. So you went, you haven't watched it all.
You haven't watched it all? I said, it's a 6-minute video.
And you went, no, you haven't. You were only gone for 3.5 minutes, and it's a 7-minute video. I was like,
Correct.
yeah, I watched it on double speed. I watch everything on double speed.
So
it was like, well, you haven't taken it in properly. I'm like, what?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I felt. It literally was. It's like, you watch something, you know, you got the drama, you know, you can't watch the drama and the things unfold nice and slowly in double speed because you don't get the same effect. You know, I mean, you need to watch this stuff. And when he came...
Much more hysterical to listen on double speed.
Yeah, I can imagine it was. And I was like, what the... Who is this guy? I didn't know. I was like... He like triggered me, you know. I mean, this was on my old account. Let's be honest. This was on my old account. This is my new account. My old account was.
Anthony had to break this for me after the fact. So he basically said, "Look, because I wasn't really paying attention to what the ballers were saying. I know you put a lot of weight to that, but that's what Anthony explained to me after the fact. He was like, look, he was being attacked by all these different ballers, and then it seems like you pile in as well." And I was like, I don't give a fuck what the ballers think. I'm just expressing my own opinion. I literally wasn't in any way influenced by anything any of the ballers had said or anybody had said. I just watched the video, gave my opinion. But the way it seemed, because I'm sure if you went back and went through that chat log, it would have every single baller attacking you on this exact point. And then me attacking you. So it's obviously going to, you know, it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. So the next thing you know, I've got, you know, you on my back and I'm on your back and we're back and forth attacking each other. But the whole time I've got Anthony going, look, you two get on really well. And me going, fuck you, he will die.
But the thing was, I'd literally spent like 4 years on YouTube about chemtrails, right? You know, I knew more about chemtrails and still probably do than almost anybody, you know, at least in the flat earth right now, right? You know, and when you dismissed it out of hand, and then I found out months later, in fact, I only found out, a couple of months ago, that you had never even researched chemtrails. It was like, fuck me, you know, you just dismissed the evidence that I did in the video. And you had no evidence. You'd not even researched fucking chemtrails, right?
That was the case. I mean, I don't want to get into an argument out of it. My basis for dismissal was there was no connection drawn. You didn't show any cause. You just drew a conclusion. Now, it's not to say that your conclusion's incorrect. It might very well turn out to be correct, but you didn't offer any evidence to connect the two together.
Yeah, but hang on. That particular day, I went up to Blackpool and met Ranty as well. And when we went up in the car, and the only reason I know this is because before Ranty had made the claim, my partner and I, we were going on the way up there, and she just happened to glance down at the temp sensor in the car, and she said, "There's no way this is 18 degrees today." Now, I agree. I thought the temp sensor was broke in the car because it said 18 degrees and it was like 30. It was absolutely roasting, and there was no way it was 18 degrees, right? So I thought the temp sensor was broke. And that the only reason why Ranty's got a point is because I remember going up that day and it was either 15 degrees or 18 degrees, and that's cool, right? That's not a hot day. But Ranty, wasn't it hot that day?
Yeah, I mean, listen, right, let's look at this way, right? I work outside and have done since I was like 14 years of age, right? You know, essentially, I've been outside all the time. You know, I'm a painter and decorator. That's my job. You know, I'm outside. I'm always 5, 6, 7 days a week. I'm outside working, right? I'd never, ever suffered sunburn. You know, well, I had sunburn on my arms and stuff in the past, but never to the point where my face was swollen to twice the size of a normal face. You know, I mean, the burns that I got from simply just going down to a meetup with you guys was incredible. What was also more incredible was the fact that I'd also noticed a pattern with these chemtrails, and the one chemtrail that I'd focused on all day from getting up in the morning. I saw this chemtrail. It lingered all day, and I'm not even kidding you. I had the whole video about it, and I even mentioned it when we met up, right? To all you people that were there. Sandra was there, Jamie Brown was there. I told everybody. Antonio was there, and I was saying, "You see this chemtrail up there?" And I was pointing up to it, and I said, "That's been there all fucking day, right?" And I hadn't even got burnt by then, right? You know. So the point was that I was recognizing that there was this chemtrail up there, and I felt it was so important to speak to you guys about this, right? Prior to this, and then it was only afterwards when I got so burnt because I'd been literally underneath this fucking. It's called coal fly ash. Coal fly ash. If you look up coal fly ash radiation, it's what happens with certain type of chemtrail. This is exactly what I was suffering from, and the evidence, you know, the imagery speaks for itself, right? Everybody that turned up to that meetup got burnt, right? Everybody.
I didn't get
Anthony.
That's not true. But what I will vouch for is that the temp on the car said it was either 15 or 18 degrees, right?
Yeah, but you only turned up for an hour.
And it was way hotter than that.
Yeah, but Anthony,
so for whatever reason, the temperature.
You were the latest person to turn up. You were the last person to turn up, and you only stayed for like an hour.
No, Antonio was
with the dogs.
Antonio was late for his own fucking birthday thing, wasn't he? Because he didn't turn up for hours.
Yeah. So the people that actually were there for like 2 or 3 hours, I work outside all the time. Yeah, I don't get burnt essentially like that. You know, not to the point where I don't even look like my normal self. You know, I mean, the difference was amazing. In any event, the simple fact was that we got burnt. I'd noticed an issue with the chemtrail that had been laid out of this plane. I got it researched with other people that verified that it was something called coal fly ash radiation, or coal fly ash that was actually in the air. And I have actually seen that same kind of trail being left when there's no wind. The idea of the trail is that it's supposed to be laid when there's plenty of wind, so it disperses over a large area. The fact that on that day that there was no wind, right, meant that it actually lingered in a very small area, you know, and it covered perhaps, you know, but the sun's rays coming through it, it maybe only covered an area of perhaps 5 or 10 square miles. The idea was it to spread out a lot longer.
So Sean Pierce has just put in chat, Ranty Flat Earth, just commented on Sean Hufford's channel. Yeah, I've also commented on his channel. So go to his channel and give my comment a like on his most recent video. I think it's his most recent video. Let me just double check. Because if we can just troll him with someone with my comment getting some likes, not only will he see it, he'll hate it. Because he hates me more than he hates anybody else I know. Let me just tell you what video it's on. All right, let's. So what I want you all to do right now, if you don't mind, go over to Sean Hufford's channel, find the video that is entitled. It's coming. Bear with me. It feels a bit like a thingy hangout. What's his name now? I can't remember his name. What's the guy's name? The Beaks Penguins. IPS. It feels like an IPS hangout.
Hold on, what's YouTube talking about? I respect people like Jem and Taylor more than fake flatties. Who's a fake flatty? Yeah, I got Saint Domingo 1 asking the same question.
Yes, I see Sean Pierce's comment. Sean Pierce's comment is on by the short and curlies of audio analysis. So please go over to that video by the short and curlies of audio analysis and like Sean Pierce's comment that was 8 minutes ago. So that's one.
But make sure you come back here.
Yeah, do it in another tab. I can't remember where the other video. So the other video, Flat Earth Research wins Part 11 live. That's the one that I've commented on. It's a couple of weeks old now because it's a while. Yeah, so 8 minutes ago, this is my comment. Flat Earth Research wins live, number 11. It's quote, Sean is such a liar and he's going to get exposed in the next week or so. Not just exposed, totally destroyed by Riley, and it's going to be glorious. So I'm going to like my own comment. Please go to his channel right now. Find the two videos that me and Sean have just commented on. I think his name was, and make sure you like the two comments. So the two videos. One of them is by the short and curlies of audio analysis 5 days ago. It should be his second video down, and the other video it's about 7 or 8 videos down. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 9th video down 3 weeks ago. 2,000 views he's had on it. And this is where I'm getting all the heat from. It's the most recent comment 8 minutes ago. Make sure you go and like that video as well. And preferably put a comment on it saying how much he's going to get destroyed. Because at the end of the day, evidence is king, right? It doesn't matter what nonsense Sean comes up with. It doesn't matter what his interpretations are. I don't know whether he's right or not. And nobody else really knows whether he's right or not. But all of his subs believe it. So make sure you go over and like them comments and give comments underneath it so that Sean knows that he's getting trolled. Because that's the message we want to give him.
Right, Anthony and Nathan, I need to go to the toilet right now, but can you just talk a little bit about Flat Earth British?
Go to the toilet.
I will.
To announce it.
Hey?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I need a pee. I need a pee, but people are talking about Flat Earth British in the chat, and I just thought, I'd give him a plug. Martin Leakey, he's awesome.
And if you've gone for more than 3 minutes, he's gone for a shit. He's gone for a shit.
I'll take the mic with me if you won't listen to that.
Right, go.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about what we were going to talk about immediately without there being at least something. Nice weather we had today, Anthony.
No, actually, it was very overcast today.
That's fascinating. So yeah, Martin Leaker, absolutely superb. So I haven't watched enough of Martin recently, but 3 years ago I watched Martin, and I remember him holding up his books to the camera, and it was in like 240 resolution, really grainy, with him shaking his books at the camera for about 2.5 seconds, so you couldn't see him.
I'm going to call Martin Leakey out on the nicest of grounds.
Martin Leaker out? How dare you?
No, in a nice way, because I met him at Leamington Spa, and it was the first time I actually met him, right? I don't know why, but for some reason, I've never been gravitated towards his channel. And I don't know why. It's not a personal thing. It's just that I'm more interested in Flat Earth, and he's on a tangent that's not Flat Earth, so that kind of like turns me off. So, I mean, that's not a bad thing. I mean, each to their own, and I'm sure it's not. But, Martin, if you're listening, let's get back onto a bit of Flat Earth, man. Because then I'll be interested. I'm a bit of a, like, I don't know what the word is, but I'm a bit of a one-track pony at the minute, in that I've done the 9/11 thing. I agree with you on the history thing, but I still like the Flat Earth stuff.
He'll come back to it. Martin's periodically out of Flat Earth.
So what do you want to know about Flat Earth?
Well, I just want Martin to come back to Flat Earth, because, I don't know, I'm a bit of a one-track pony, so we know that he didn't go for a shit, Ranty, so it's all good.
How do you know? Did you hear it?
You went long enough. You either didn't wag yourself properly or you didn't have a shit, so we know.
You don't have to intersperse Martin Leakey with whether or not Ranty's gone for a number 2. Come on.
Ranty, next time, just don't tell anyone that you're going in. Just go. It's about stealth, like a ninja.
Right, well, I completely disagree. Martin is awesome. And yeah.
No, he is awesome. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying that I'm not really interested in the other stuff he talks about, and I want to. Flat Earth's like my thing. It's what I enjoy the most.
All right, speak Flat Earth. Tell me.
Well, the ballers can't prove the distance to the sun. SciManDan can't science. Sean Hufford tells lies. GeoStreamer's a cheat. Sly Sparkane tells everybody it's a ball, but he really knows it's not. Rumpus claims the whole body is science, and there is no science. You can't really do the science the way they tell us they can. They have to make it into science that's not science. And then all of a sudden everything becomes science. So they have to redefine science for the sake of heliocentricity. And I don't think there's a difference between a philosopher and a heliocentric priest. Think about that. I don't think there's a difference between a philosopher and a heliocentric priest.
Do you want to tell us about the observation of you seeing the northern part of the Isle of Man when you was at St. Bees on your belly?
Well, the problem with that is that Sly Sparkane thinks it's a mirage. When we did the Isle of Man stuff, from the top of one of the hills, it was about 105 feet or so, maybe 115 at the absolute lowest of low tides, which it wasn't at. We could see, I could see something that I thought shouldn't be seen. And it turns out to be the north coast of the Isle of Man, which is fair enough, right? Okay, it wasn't Ireland. But the point is that that north coast shouldn't even be seen, right? But them guys used a lot of refraction and brought back the tippy tops bit and all, basically claimed that it was possible on a sphere Earth with a bit of refraction. But Slice Barkane was one of the morons that said, yeah, go back and get it from the beach, Riley. I know that was a Matt Taylor voice, but fundamentally it's the same kind of nonsense. And when I did go back and got it from the beach, which is like 100 feet below, he didn't credit me for it at all, and he claimed it was a mirage. So he basically did what that weatherman did. What you see here is a mirage. Literally, that's what he did, and then he kicked me. Now, basically, I preempted that he would kick me at that point, and he did. But then claims that it was my fault. Reasons, I don't know why. But basically, he couldn't answer the question I was going to ask him. And Ranty had the same kind of a problem with him when he comes to bring up the curve calcs with his barrel and finesse observation, because we can see stuff that we shouldn't be able to see. But when that curve calculator comes up and it's being used against him, they don't like it. And that's why Sly knows that it's not a sphere, but he tells everybody it is. So Sly is just as guilty as fuck as Sean and GeoStreamer and Soundly. It's just this time we've got direct proof, black and white proof, that Sean Hufford and Soundly and GeoStreamer all told lies. And they keep pushing it, and they keep telling their subs that I'm a liar, deceitful, whatever. But guess what, guys? I can prove that my mic was not producing a single frequency, and it was all Geo.
Right. Okay. So how does that prove the flat Earth? You know, I mean, I'm just saying. Huh?
I was going to say, Anthony, was about Martin. So Martin, when he was more covering flat Earth, he was into maps. That was his you know, Mappy Martin was like what he would be named back then. So, yeah, he's changed his tact, but I'm certain he will come back to it. You know, maybe this is what he needs. Maybe you giving him a bit of nudge in that direction will mean he'll come back to looking at maps a bit more. But you know, he's kind of gone through the mill with them and drawn his conclusions already. But that's not to say that there's plenty of people out there that wouldn't value that information. There's plenty of people out there that think we've got a world map that's real, and we haven't. But people like Martin have covered what we do have, where it does have validity, and what might be interesting or what it might indicate. You know, it's fairly speculative, but it's still fascinating, especially when he's got a lot of knowledge about maps.
What I do want to do, on a slight tangent, I want to give a shout out to a couple of people that have gone and messaged underneath the message that I asked them to. So shout out to Splash Liquid if you're watching. Blah blah blah. Lol, dislike. John Watson, shout out to you. You can definitely hear Sean putting on his lipstick at 3 minutes 33 seconds. And then you got MiG-13 FE, destroyed as always, but they just don't realise. So there's only 3 comments, right? So that's not enough. There's like, how many people are watching this right now? 83 people, and only 3 people have commented under the comments under mine. It's not really good enough.
So if you put a link to his video, that's how IPS used to get people to do it. He'd put a link in and say, go and spam them now, or do whatever they were doing. What do they used to call it? Or something like that.
What did they call it now?
Truth bombing. I forgot what they called it. Anyway.
Chat raiding.
Raid, that was it. So, hey, there you go, Ranty. That's your answer to your question from Bob at Globebusters. GeoStreamer faking intelligence proves flat Earth. There you go.
Well, the thing is, right, whilst Bob's watching, what I want you to do, Bob, if you don't mind, is ram home this point that nobody seems to be able to provide the evidence for the distance to the sun. I know it's a really simple question, right? It's flat Earth 101, it's heliocentricity 101, but it seems to be the case that none of these ballers have the evidence to support the assertion of whatever, be it the Cassini and the Huygens thing, or more recently the radar thing, the radar to Venus. They don't seem to have this evidence, right? But that's a massive, massive, massive hole in their evidence, because one of the key things that everybody asks is, well, how do you know the distance to the sun? And they come up with an answer that everybody just generally accepts because they can't prove that it's not. But actually, that evidence doesn't exist, as far as I can see. I'm not saying it definitely doesn't exist. It may exist. But that thing that they claim that is 93 million miles away, that evidence doesn't seem to exist. And people like the Rumpus claim, nobody is science, Nathan. But when it comes down to it, when you ask them for it, it doesn't seem to be the case that they can do it. Right, so I can see now someone saying, Sleeping Warrior, not seeing your comments. So Steve Fowler, it's the video that I've commented on is Flat Earth Research Wins Part 11 live. It's about 10 or 11 videos down his list. And it
Just post it. Post the link in the chat, and then people will do it immediately. All well, 50% of the chat will probably go and make a comment. So the comment I'd like people to do is just demonstrate the fact that these people will lie to your face. Just go and ask Soundly or GeoStreamer about their interactions with each other behind the scenes when talking to Anthony. You know, however you want to phrase that. Why were you being fed by Soundly if it's GeoStreamer? Why were you feeding GeoStreamer if it's Soundly? Just ask them the question. So they hopefully get a reply, and you'll see they'll barefaced lie to you.
Okay, Nathan, just pulling you up on a couple of points. Well, not pulling you up, but just asking you to address a couple of questions that I have, which is when you look at the Globers and you look at the stuff that they put out, right? You look at the SciManDan, you look at the, you know, the GeoStreamer, all this kind of guys. What evidence would you want them to address, or what claims would you want them to address in order to be convinced that the Earth is no longer flat, it is actually a globe? What would you ask them? You know, what proofs would you want from them? What evidence?
Oh, pictures from space, pictures of a globe, real pictures.
Yeah, but we can't do that because it has to be, right?
Well, I mean, whenever anybody's asked me what standard would I accept, it would be to go and see for myself. So what could they give me? Well, probably nothing, because all of the people who've given us stuff to date have given us complete nonsense, easily debunkable nonsense at that. So there's a few people out there at the moment that are saying it's not subtle what they're doing with this fakery, especially the ISS. I mean, it's so overt, if you ask me. They're blatantly on wires. But you know, if you believe it, you believe it. But I don't think they're trying to do it in a really subtle way that, you know, it's almost like they're kind of saying, yeah, this is obviously deception, but you know, just believe us anyway.
Right, given that Nathan's requested this, I'm going to do this, and I want everybody that's watching, that's on the FE side, to please go to Sean's channel and put this. I'm going to put it in chat right now, the link for the video where I've put the comment, right? I just want Sean to know that we're trolling him, because I'm going to make the claim now, because I can prove that my microphone was shut. Now, I didn't know that I could do this before tonight, and I've shown it to Nathan, and it's glorious. So I'll put it in chat right now. It's below JK, and it's above Ute's comments. The benefit to trusting any of these people. Please go to that channel, put him a comment in there. It's underneath my most recent comment, and just say anything. I don't care what you say. You can even badmouth me if you want. It's fine. I just want Sean to know that we're watching and we're trolling him, because I'm telling everybody that Sean's a liar, and I can prove it beyond all reasonable doubt. No interpretation. It's black and white. My microphone was shut. The sound came from Geo's microphone, and only Geo's microphone. There is no doubt. Geo is a liar. Sean is a liar. Soundly is a liar. We all know he's a liar. Now we can prove it. So please,
one correction. Sorry, just so you know, I don't want anybody. I know you're going to get brought up on this. You'll show it, and they'll go, "Look, that's not black and white. It's in color."
Yeah. So they use the fact that it's in color to debunk the whole evidence, right? That's what they do.
Then it was black and white. This isn't black and white.
No, this is in full Technicolor. This is Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat, right? I might even print it big screen on a big piece of paper and stick it on my wall, so that every time I put my camera on, it's in the background. Just as an aid memoir to all those liars that are on their side that tried to call me every name under the sun, and it's not true. Yeah, I get shit wrong, right? We all do. And I did get that full courts thing wrong. Basically because I was tired and I was half cut. But basically, I made a mistake, right? I hold my hands up. But these guys never, ever, ever concede anything, ever, right? This time they've got to concede it, and they're not going to do it. So please go to the channel and follow the link I've just put in chat, and go and put something underneath the comments so that Sean knows that we're trolling him. He deserves it. Probably watching. Okay,
Anthony, I'm going to ask you again, yeah? Right, okay, so the evidence that we're talking about now, obviously, is their deception. You know, their ruse. Huh?
It's them covering up a lie. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's their ruse. It's kind of like, okay, it's all right for them to play by certain rules, and you're not allowed to play by those rules either, you know, because they're the only ones that can have that. So they can have somebody else talking in the background, feeding them information to make them appear more superior in knowledge to you, because essentially they might have 3 or 4 people in the background that are specialists in that particular part of the debate, right? So it's all about discrediting you, right? But how does that prove the flat Earth? You know,
it discredits the witnesses for the ball Earth. It doesn't. We can't prove flat Earth because we have no money, we have no tools, we have no equipment, we have no specialists. All we have are blokes with a P900, right? So we all realise we can't prove flat. Some people may say we can prove flat, but we have to prove it over the whole plane, whatever it is, right? So we may get it in time, and we may be able to prove that standing water doesn't curve or doesn't conform to the exterior of a curved ball. Shout out to Dell. But ultimately, I mean, maybe we can prove flat, but what we should focus on is that it's not a sphere, and these people are lying. They're literally liars.
I think what we can demonstrate by, like you said, with the P900 is effectively the curve calcs don't match reality. Now, I know that Nathan hates us begging the question with the curve calcs, but for this particular segment, I would rather talk about this, because my observations, your observations, it seems like everybody else's observations worldwide, apart from Soundly, do appear to show that you can see much, much further than what you should be able to if you was living on a ball. So if you was living on a ball and you've got the curvature of the Earth, you know, if you was trying to see as far as you can, squinting your eyes, and you had you literally had a pair of binoculars or a camera or anything and you can look, you might see 10 miles. You might see 10 miles, depending on your elevation above sea level, right? What we're finding is that we can see 20, 30, 40, 50 miles, right? And that doesn't conform to their model. And it doesn't conform to it because all water should conform to gravity, which is that, you know, if there is a molten iron core that pulls all the, you know, it has a gravitational pull, and we have all the water that's sticking to the Earth, it's all being pulled into a curve, right? So all bodies of water must curve, right? You can have flat land, but bodies of water must curve. It must curve. It's why you cannot have flat water, right? So when you're looking over water and you're seeing 3, 4, 5 times as far as you should do compared to the curve calcs, do you think that debunks the notion of gravity? Or do you believe that we're actually seeing beyond the curvature of the Earth by effect of looming?
Gravity is debunked by the absence of evidence. It's that simple. That's why I attack Alvin all the time, because you can't claim stuff if you can't prove it. And that's why I've not said anything about Sean at the minute, because I didn't know stuff, right? I'm not going to say stuff that I can't prove. I might voice an opinion and I may get it wrong. We all do. But you can't claim gravity unless you can prove that there is be it an attractive force between masses, that will be Newtonian, or whether it's the bending of space-time, that will be Einsteinian, and which is the current science for the moment. So anybody that claims gravity, well, how are you going to bend space-time, right? Gravity by Newtonian principles is a force. Einsteinian is a concept. One forces things to happen, the other one doesn't, apparently. Who knows? But point is, John's the best one for this particular point. Well, if gravity is a thing, you've got to prove it, right? And there is no evidence for gravity. The only thing that we can explain is density and buoyancy. And shout out for Jamie Brown in chat. He let me use his video recently for Pete Shea. So keep an eye on Pete Shea. Tell him he needs to apologise. But you can't prove gravity, right? So you can't have it. You can't prove curvature, so you can't have it. You can't prove axial rotation. You can't have it. It's all housekeeping points, really. So unless you can prove the stuff that you say within science, scientific method, manipulate the independent variable, cause the effect, prove causation, demonstrate the dependent variable, you can't have it. And that's the only thing that we can all prove, that science, when it comes to heliocentricity, does not have the evidence, and that's it.
So when we hear the housekeeping points, and we have Nathan that does the you know, he's got a list now. I mean, essentially, it's taken what 350 shows or so to get to this point, which was debated. Huh?
430 shows, still no evidence.
Yeah, but it was only like debate 80 that I joined.
Right, okay.
So, but anyway, up to that point, essentially, we had a lot of Globers that were, you know, domineering the debates. The link was public. The trolls would essentially just join, and they would kick via means of this YouTube platform any flat earther that came in and had any kind of valid points. So they essentially sat on the debates, and for the first 80 or 90 shows, they held sway, you know, and it was only when we learned their tricks that we were able to counter this. So in 350 debates, we've moved from the trolls controlling the debates to having points that we can nail down through the fact that they have no scientific basis, and it's not just one point; it's a series of points. And Nathan does this every single time that he does his debates, and it's designed to, you know, show the fallacy that we actually live on a spinning ball through the vacuum of space. It's retarded.
Well,
you know,
this two points. I'm going to read the names of everyone that's posted on that link that I gave before. And if you haven't posted, you're not going to get your name read. So make sure you go to that. I'm going to post it again now because I want people to go there. We've got 12 comments on the link. So if you want your name read, please go to the video that I'm going to put in chat right now. Put a comment underneath. I don't really care what it is. I just want Sean to realise he's getting trolled. So there's the link in chat now. Please go over there. Put a comment on. I don't care what it is. Just get a comment on it, right? But secondly, when I first got into the debates, right, Curve Water would be in the chat. He would be on the panel every day. And he was like he was going to work. He was there at the beginning, like me and Arwin are now. And he was there all the time. And then all of a sudden, one particular day, he stopped coming. Nathan, do you know why he stopped coming?
Remember why Curve Water stopped coming?
He just got, I think he seems to have been bullied out of it, and he now protests and he doesn't come back, which is fine, you know, because he was one of the guys we needed to displace, like Gravity. But ultimately, that guy was always there when I first started getting involved. And I don't know why he stopped coming in. I quite liked him, but for some reason he stopped. But it's that kind of thing, that mentality where the ballers would occupy the panel, and then it was like Nathan was like the only, I don't know, he was like the only guy in the village kind of thing. Everybody else was ballers. Brenda was in all the time until she did that thing where she deleted all that guy's work. And then, but none of them go in anymore, which is brilliant. If somebody would have said to Nathan at the start, hey, listen, this is how we can get rid of all the ballers, just asking for evidence. That would have been brilliant, but we only found it out recently. None of them go in anymore.
Well, hang on, wait a minute. I think you glossed over the fact that all we need is work. I think what you actually forget is that it took all of our efforts to produce that. You know, all of our efforts were put into sticking onto a single point, right? And it might have got boring for people for a single month if we were going on about one particular point, right? But at the end of it, we had a result. And at the end of it, it's always, you know, the ball has nothing. We have all the answers, right? And for every point that we've stuck to, right, we can now list them off as housekeeping. So all the people that have stayed with us for the past 6 or 7 months, they've seen the growth of the channel. They've seen the growth of the evidence. And they've seen that, okay, what might appear boring to a lot of people for 2 hours every day, listening to the same thing being talked about, well, eventually we come to a concession or a conclusion that, okay, the globe has no answer for this, and we have this nailed down. And that's why housekeeping is so important. It's like listing off our achievements over the past 6 months. It really is.
Can you click on my icon so it goes out to the audience?
And Nathan, I don't see you commented on the video that I've been putting links on what's going on. And Ranty, same for you.
Yeah, I will do. Have you clicked on my box, Ranty?
I have right now. You're not going to porn bomb me, are you?
No.
I
You've clicked on me though, yeah?
have, yeah. Yeah, you're displaying now, mate.
Chocolate there, shout out to Stuff to Trees. Somebody's watched Debate Night 79.
But housekeeping literally is like a list of, points that we've conclusively won against the globe. We've had all the bald earth proponents come in, like literally, for people that are just listening right now, everybody that you can think of in globe earth that has been around the debates for the past 2 or 3 years, every single one of these has come in and tried to debunk these particular points. And every single time we have conclusively won them, which is why when we do housekeeping, we nail it every single time. So housekeeping is incredibly important.
What you'll notice is all of these points, right? The only way that they can win these points is by consensus, not by merit. So basically, what happens is it's like that scene out of, like I said before, it's the scene out of Life of Brian, where everybody agrees, therefore it's true, right? That's what the baller mentality is. If they can get enough momentum behind it, it's true, regardless of how true it actually is. Earth Flattener says the Earth link's not working. Earth Flattener, you must be doing something wrong because everybody else has done it. Earth Flattener, Sean Hufford's channel, and it's Flat Earth Research Wins number 11. It's about 3 weeks old, and you'll see my comments. Flat Earth Research Wins part 11 live, about 3 weeks old. You'll see it. I'm going to shout out names in a bit because I can see that we've gone up to 14 comments now, but I can see there's nearly 100 people in chat. That's better, but it's not good. So we need a little bit more momentum on it, and Nathan's not commented, and neither's Ranty. So Nathan and Ranty need to go over it.
I'm doing stuff, and I can't actually click the link on the iPad to do it how I do it with the thing next.
That's not a good enough excuse. You need to find a better one.
Hang on, mate. Wait. Wait a minute. I said you.
I can't do it. If you put the link in Skype, I can do it really easily.
Right, somebody else has said that the link's not working, so I'm going to go and redo it now. Just bear with me 1 sec.
Yeah, you have to.
I did actually try. It wasn't working.
Shouldn't. Well, that's a better excuse.
Have you had some rum tonight, Anthony?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had some Stella. I'm on my 6th bottle right now. So 6th.
So we're dealing with drunkards. Well,
absolute drunkaholic.
I never get drunk. I only a little maybe.
Come on, I was with you at St. B's, mate. I saw you go skinny dipping at fucking 3 in the morning.
That's freezing.
But the soundtrack to this is Zoe singing, and she's in the chat going, "No sound." It's like, yeah, we can't. We're down to the bare bones basics of using Google Hangouts. So no sound, I'm afraid.
Right, so the link is in chat now. That's an updated link for everybody to please go and put a comment underneath my most recent comment on Sean's channel. Because I'm going to shout everybody's name out. That includes you, Martin Leakey. Steve Fowler, I don't see you in there. Maybe you have. Middy's been in there. Middy HC. I know it's not actually my dick, but Leeds Rules has put a comment in there. Please go and put a comment underneath my comment so that Sean gets the message that basically I can now say with absolute certainty that my microphone was shut and we're going to expose it for the lion sack of shit that he actually is. But I don't really remember a time at the beginning when there was many flat earthers on Nathan's show because they didn't want to come in because it was basically a bully boy mentality where all the ballers would sit in chat and they sit on the panel. And if you went, it's bad. Do you know, Nathan, do you remember the first time that Ranty came in your chat?
Not really.
The Christmas show.
Was that the first time?
It was the Christmas special, so I pre-recorded. It's the only pre-record I ever did because I knew I'd be away for Christmas. And at that time, I was like, no, it's critically important that I keep the momentum going and have a show every single day released. So knowing full well that I wasn't going to get to do one on Christmas Day, I pre-recorded a couple of shows, I think Christmas and Boxing Day, and then released them on, so there was still something coming out new on those 2 days. But that was the first one, that Ranty came in on. And he did a cracking job. I remember it really well. He was showing, there was like a typical ballers. They basically took a point about some ranty boat that he'd picked out and he'd misidentified it and then he corrected it maybe an hour later, and that's all they wanted to focus on.
Yeah. Well, what I remember was
The thing was, the thing was, I came into the debates, right? Anthony had asked me to like, he spoke to me on chat in Skype and said, "Can you join Nathan's debate? I'm really struggling here. I need you to produce some of the evidence that you've got to basically just, you know, shut these guys up and get them off my case." And I was like, "Oh, it's fucking Nathan Oakley. He's fucking hell. You know, me and him haven't got on." And he's like, "Yeah, but you'll be doing me a favor." And I'm like, "Fucking hell, I owe you one, you know, right? Sod it." So, no offense, Nathan, but that's how it came about. So when I joined, it was really weird. It was surreal. It was I was able to do perhaps a 30-minute presentation, which was observations that just absolutely crushed the ball earth, right? I mean, if you guys want to go and watch the Christmas special from Nathan, if you want to spam that actual debate in the side chat, you know, I'm sure people will want to watch that. But literally, you know, I came in, I had 30 minutes, and it was like free air. You know, nobody wanted to challenge me. It was literally like silence. It's only recently that I've realized that isn't normally what happens or had happened in those debates up until then, because normally you would get shut up within 2 or 3 minutes. You'd have the trolls on your case. But because I was like an unknown in Nathan's debates, I was able to come in. I presented 30 minutes of flat earth, absolutely fucking smashing proof, right? And I shut everybody up. And at the end of it, we only had Miles Davis there saying, "Yeah, but you had misidentified some boat." And I went, "Yeah, and," you know, what about the rest of it?
I forgot about Miles Davis. But we're up to 19 comments, right? But what I noticed is people are not liking each other's comments. So if you don't mind, guys, go back and like other people's comments so that we get the comments, because it's now going to become the most popular thread on that video, and it's all flat Earth. Which
right.
So
can you reaffirm what this is about? Can you reaffirm to the new people that are watching right now what this is about and why it's so important to you? Because you've spent the last half an hour talking about it. So there you go.
This is the short version, right? I didn't know whether Sean was skilled at the art of audio or not, right? And everybody on his channel believes that he is because he tells people he is, and I don't know whether he is or he isn't. And Sean was doing some analysis, and when I was watching it, I thought, that doesn't prove one thing or the other. That is open to interpretation. It's Sean's interpretation, and Sean hates me. So he was making points, and he was literally saying, it's like when you lift up a rock at the beach and there's a crab underneath, and one of you sees it, but the other one missed it, right? Sean's telling me there's a crab there. Look, look, look. And I'm looking, and I'm not seeing no crab. And he did this over and over again, and he's literally making these points so that Ballers on his channel thinks that he's right. And I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, that doesn't prove it either way. If there's anything there at all, I don't see anything.
Right, so, Anthony, can I stop you there?
I'll interrupt Ranty. I know exactly what you're about to say. What Ranty's fishing for is you to point out the importance of why you're doing this, not the merits of what you're doing.
Oh, right, okay.
In essence, I'm going to do it for you because I know you've had a few. So basically, we're dealing with people that lie, and we constantly address their lies about a sphere Earth that we don't live on. And what we're doing in this instance is showing that it's not just the sphere Earth they lie about, they're just liars. Yes. So it's the credibility that we're going for. The other reason is that's essentially what they attack us on. It's very rarely on the merits of the argument. It's always on credibility. So fine. You want to play with fire? We're more than happy to go toe-to-toe with these people. Okay? You want to get down and dirty about the nitty-gritty of your personality and your character traits and flaws? No problem. We can do that too. But that's what we have to deal with. And basically, we're in the trenches dealing with it in the way they deal with us. Now, some people don't like it, especially with me, because I'll sink really low to their level. But that's what I think is necessary. I've got no qualms about doing it. In this instance, I'm in many ways discouraging Anthony from doing it. But now he's done it, I totally see the merits. It's like at some point I'm going to have to go cap in to Anthony and go, I was wrong. You were right. This absolutely demonstrates to the audience that these people have no credibility. And it's these people that are defending the globe. the people with no credibility that lie through the back teeth when they don't even really need to. You know, Gio could still just confess to this and say, yeah, no big deal. Okay, you caught me. I got soundly in my ear. But he's too much pride, whatever. He may do that. I mean, I may be eating my words here. I don't know. We'll find out soon. But either way, you know, these people would, it seems, rather lie through their back teeth indefinitely and be shown to be outright liars than just simply tell the truth. And it's true with their attacks on Anthony about a simple thing as a hangout, right the way through to lying about the very nature of our existence and everything in between.
And let's be honest, the propagation tactic that they use is basically what they do to us, but they blame us for what their own discretions are. And what he's done is took on this argument to try and damage control, that the fact that Gio and Sam, we were having this conversation. And again, it's not that big of a deal, but the fact is they've doubled down on it, right? And they've brushed it under the carpet. And that's not, can you imagine, right, if Nathan or Ranty had made a mistake or whatever, done something wrong, and then me and Ranty had then gone to Nathan's defense and hidden it, right? And then it was found out that we didn't it. Can you imagine what they would do if it was the other way around? Oh man, it wouldn't be, yeah, you got full court wrong, right? Okay, I hold my hands up, right? I got the wrong bloke. So what? It's not a mistake, right? It's deliberate. Now, there's a massive difference between making a mistake and trying to bury something, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to bury evidence that shows that Gio and Sam, they're liars, and it's not on, because that's the thing that they accuse us of doing. They accuse us of lying at any opportunity, right? Even if you get the date wrong on something, then they're going to call you a liar. Not the fact that you're wrong. They're going to call you a liar, dishonest, shill, whatever you want to call it. And that's not on. So this is just retribution for the fact all the times that they've lied about me, and I couldn't prove it one way or the other, right? Because I'm not skilled in everything, right? Even though they profess to be skilled at everything. But on this occasion, Sean's incompetent. He thinks he knows how to do stuff. Passes it off as though he knows what he's doing. And I don't know whether he does or he doesn't, but I do know that he can't prove one thing that he claims that he can, that GeoStreamer's mic was open or shut, that my mic was open or shut. But now someone's come to my aid and said, right, that's it, black and white. There's your mic, there's his mic. His mic's open, not yours. And I was like, hallelujah. Because that does prove, not can, it does. That proves that my microphone was off at the time in question. The only microphone that was on is GeoStreamer's. It's glorious. So, do you reckon I should read out the names of the people that were not honest enough? Sorry, that was a bad misspeak. Should I read out the people that were cool enough to go over and read the video, post a message? Because there's 22 as far as I can see. Let me just double check.
Wow, that's a pretty good turnout. Well done.
That's really good. Yeah.
Let's see how many there actually was. 22 replies, right? And I don't see Nathan's name on there, and I don't see Randy.
You can't keep going down to that.
Put it in Skype.
What?
Did you put the link in Skype?
No, I'll put it in the thingy. I'll put it in Skype if that's where you need it. God.
I want a shout out.
Yeah, you're not getting one though. Not unless you go and actually do it. Nathan,
do
you
it
need
right
to file as well. You need to really add add that little bit of spice that you're really good at.
Yeah, I got it.
I dare you to put what did you call? Do you know when you said mantits in chat the other day and Alan B laughed? I got blamed for it by Sean. Not Alan B. It was Alan B that laughed, Sean, not me. Alan B laughed. I got the blame.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's just Sean's audio analysis again. He won't accept that it wasn't me that laughed. It was Alan B. Shout out to Alan B.
Retracted.
Shout out, retracted. That's the best thing ever. Right, so we've got 22. Let's read some names for the people that have actually gone to the channel and done it right. So shout outs to Splash Liquid, blah, 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 lol, dislike. Shout out to John Watson. You can defo hear Sean putting on his lippy at 3 minutes 33. I'm seeing all the likes are going up as well, so we're on 14 likes on most of the comments. Shout outs to MiG13FE, destroyed as always, but they just don't realise. How true is that? Legendary Superlumion Perspective, and then it goes off my phone. Sean Huffraud and Geo the Milky Bar Arcade are about to get wrecked. Absolutely. Shout out to Defund NASA, exposed bitches. And shout out to FE Astronomy, trolling, audio guy, Nat. Shout out to Paul Russon, and the truth shall set you free. shout out to Chocolate, Audio Guy, and then a load of emoticons. Shout out to The Brain. Can't hear you, Audio Guy. That's because he's talking lies. Shout out to Shane Walter. Just a load of emoticons. Midi HC or My Dick. Shout out to for those messages, the Audio Guy, registered trademark. Benjamin C. Sean and Gio are liars. That's the best statement of the lot. Saucy London, shout out you're not having. I can't believe you all like this comment. He's managed to squeak through there. Shout out to Short Saucy London. Sleeping Warrior, where is your apology to Michael Foucault? I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Leeds Rules, shout out to Leeds. So Audio Guy has now finally been proven wrong. He lied about this whole issue and basically tried to falsely blame me for it, Riley. Surely Audio Guy, for the official record, acted with utter malicious deceit here to smear you, as nobody in reality is that retarded to actually buy into the spurious explanations he has tried peddling without any substance to his trusting flock and beyond. That's what they are. They're all flock. The truth is now proven, and it speaks for itself. Anthony has proved his mic was closed. I haven't done it yet, but I will do. Gio has been coached by Soundly, and they tried damage control to deflect what was obvious that Audio Guy, Geo Clown, and Geo Whisperer were all lying through their teeth. Absolutely. Shout out to Bailed Fry. Sean, if quizzes are quizzical, what are tests? Oh, my bad. altering current. Shout out to you for being sound guy. And Matt H. exposed again. It's about time the clueless numpties took up gardening. Sean Pierce. Sean is going to get something hard and purple very, very soon. Yeah, that's going to be the crescendo, right? The purple dildo is coming back out and it's got Sean's name all over it. Don't know exactly when we'll do it, but I reckon we'll do it on Nathan's channel for the pure maximum exposure. So the purple dildo will be coming out. Right. William Thorsten, it's obviously a direct lie. Just admit it and move on. Yeah, he needs to admit it and he needs to move on. He's never ever going to admit it. He never concede anything.
Sorry, Anthony, I find it funny. You literally haven't taken a breath for like 3 minutes.
I'm shouting these people out and I'm reading the comments. It's fine. So
yeah, but how do you actually breathe?
Steve Fowler, going to get fucked, wrecked camera, bitch, coming soon, Audio Guy, lol. Spirit of Longthorn, Bill Nye, Audio Guy, Sally's Banana Cam, Sean, get Alistair Campbell to help you out with your next sexed up hangout. Top 2. Sally's Banana Cam, like that one. Sean, I think you got your brow mixed up with your headphones, hence your audio analysis mistakes. LBB Store, come clean with your lie, Audio Guy. Billy Sanchez, I'm very, very good with audio, lol. So shout out to everybody that's put comments on this thing, and make sure you go back and like the comments just so it ranks, just knows, because this guy's a moron.
Let's shout one more person out because I think it's the best name ever. So shout out to John, otherwise known as Quantum Eraser, for the new naming of Soundly, Geo Whisperer. So that's brilliant.
Right, well, Ranty and Nathan have still not gone on and put a comment on. What's going on?
No, hang on, wait a minute. I wanted to try and intersect, but I was waiting for you to breathe, and you didn't do it for like an hour.
Listen, I'm going to rage quit if you don't go and do it right now.
Right, okay, well, just hold on a second, right? I want to just make a plea for Arwinian gravity.
You what?
What's the plea?
The plea is that Arwin is in the chat, and he's
shout out to Arwin.
Shout out to Arwin. Yeah, this is the shout out to Arwin. So his Arwinian gravity is being shouted out now. Okay, so shout out to Arwinian gravity.
Oh, I've missed a couple apparently.
Huh?
I've missed a couple. Somebody said go back and read them all. There's a couple more there that I've missed. So the last
post this link, right? I literally really want you to post this link right now in the chat, and I will follow it. Right?
What we should do is we should call this the Flat Earth Debate Unplugged, or the Flat Earth Debate Unrestricted. You know, because like we can swear.
Or the Flat Earth Drum.
Right, Martin Leakey, I'm not going to be on it. You didn't get a shout out, and why have you not got a comment on his video?
Right, okay, I have followed the link. Right, okay, hang on, here we go. Right, so what am I looking for here?
It should be the top comment.
Hang on, wait, it's live.
Sean's live right now.
No, flat Earth research wins. But I've entered the debate when it's like 9. It's playing right now. 9 minutes 30.
No, it's not live now, you Burke. That's just the timestamp where I've put it in the thing because I copied
Just
it.
watching a video. For God's sake, Ranty, how many drinks have you had?
Are you
Right.
stupid?
A few.
What?
Okay, right. Okay, calm down. I want to see what other people are going to see when they click the link.
But make sure you like all the other comments, especially the top comment of mine, because that's the
Right.
link.
Okay.
Don't be a
Yeah,
crap
okay.
troll, you.
Let me just explain, because someone like Martin might not understand what the hell you're talking about. So there's a link in the chat, basically, Martin. We're trying to demonstrate that these people who lie about the globe are just liars. They've got no credibility, and they have lied through their back teeth continually. My original request was that people go to their channel, leave a primary comment that says, why did you have this conversation? So if it's Sean's channel, which it is, it's not that relevant. But I would suggest you go to GeoStreamers or Sound and ask them why they had this contemporaneous conversation. However, what Anthony has asked people to do is go to his comment on Soundly's video and just point out that they've been caught red-handed. Now, this is because Anthony's been given quite a lot of help from very experienced people in audio. So as opposed to Sean Hufford, who has absolutely no qualifications or professional experience in sound whatsoever, there's several people who've got in touch with Anthony and said, I have experience in sound. I would like to help you analyze this data correctly and give you some conclusive. What are you laughing at?
Shout out to Globebusters comments. Sean has a nice rack though. Shout out to Ranty Flat Earth for busted. Shout out to Chris Berry for Sean Liar Pants on Fire Hufford. Sorry, Nathan, carry on.
I found it in the end. I mean, come on. I mean, at least I commented.
Yeah,
Did I not get a shout out for my comment?
I haven't seen your comment.
Did you comment?
Yeah, I commented.
What video though? You're a crap troll as well. I don't see your comment.
My comment's a reply to your comment.
No, your comment. I don't see that.
Oh, he must have me banned.
No.
Like GeoStreamer.
Oh, it might be the Sean's got you banned.
Yeah, Sean's probably got me banned. I don't blame you, Sean.
Oh, so I can't shout you out then, Nathan. Oh, hang on. Did I just see it? I'm sure I just saw your symbol then.
Oh shit! Do I need to redo the stream because it looks like we're not playing?
No, we're probably still live.
No, we're still live.
It does this every now and again.
Me. Stream because it looks like we're not playing. Oh, here we go. Yes, I am.
Yeah, we're still live.
No, Nathan, I don't see. Nathan, promise me on Eleanor's life you have gone over and put a comment.
Yeah, I've put a comment. Absolutely.
So you must be banned on his channel then.
Do you want me to screen cap it?
Yeah, go on. Let's see the evidence that you've put a comment because I don't believe you.
Right.
Yeah, you don't believe me, but that's fine.
No, it's not that. It's just that Sean says that nobody's banned on his account, right? On his channel, and I don't think that's necessarily true if this is true.
Let's find out.
Let's just make sure it is that Flat Earth Research wins number 11, right?
Let's have a look. Flat Earth Research wins part 11 live.
Yeah. And it should be the top comment.
It's not.
Well, most recent then.
Top comment is from DKG Custom.
What do you mean by top? Do you mean the one at the top, or do you mean the one with the most comments?
The one at the top.
Right, no, that's not what I mean when I say top. Come on, Nathan, you know how this works.
Top means top, doesn't it?
It should be the most recent comment.
Holy shit. My comment literally isn't there.
Are you sure you've done it? I'm calling you out, Oakley.
No, I left a comment. I'm not just going to make up leaving a comment. I went immediately to it and left a comment. And now it's gone.
Purple dildo. That's the comment we should have all put. Purple dildo.
Stolen comment. It's like stolen valor, isn't it? Stolen comment.
So has he deleted? You must be blocked then.
Must be. But I would have thought I could still see my own comment though, couldn't I?
I don't know.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
And make sure that if you do go over and put another comment on there, you like everybody else's comments. Unfortunately,
Did you click post?
Maybe it didn't register my comment, so I'll just leave another one. But I did leave a comment.
Let's see. This is the moment of truth where we find out whether Nathan's blocked on Sean's channel or not, because he says that he doesn't block anybody.
No, don't assume that I'm blocked. Like I say, there may just be a glitch, because if I'd been blocked, I'd still see my own comment and I can't, which makes me think it's something at my end, because otherwise I'd still be able to see it and I can't.
So if I present you sleeping, which I am doing now, if you play porn, I'm gonna come round and do you in. But do you want to actually just try and show the audience if that comment is actually there?
Well, hang on, let's just check it. Let's just see it first. Have you put it on now, Nathan?
Oh, you want me to? Yeah, I haven't made. I'll just repost. Hold on. What should I put? Man tits?
Just put the purple dildo. What's that? In Are We Trust? Look, in the purple dildo we trust.
No, I'll put in Are We Trust.
Oh, okay then.
Oh, it could be health for review, apparently. Rune says.
Oh, it might be, yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. No, because I would still see it. If it was my comment, regardless of if it's for a review, it'd still be appearing for me. Like you showed me your comment yesterday, Ranty, on Red Pill. That'd gone walkabout, but you could still see it, could you?
Mm-hmm. But if you put man tits might
don't put man tits. Don't put man tits. Put
in Are We Trust. There you go.
Are We Trust, yeah. Shout out to FE Astronomy. Uranus is about to get purple. I can't wait for this. We just need to big it up for the next couple of days. We could drag this out for weeks as well, Should we drag it out? What we might do, actually, I don't know how to do this. We could do it like a selective disclosure, so it only goes private, like publicly but private. But I don't know how we can do that.
Well, they've got technically, John gave them like a deadline of a month total. Well, they've had 3 weeks to find.
3 weeks and 2 days.
Say again?
They've had 3 weeks and 2 days.
Yeah, so they've got another week. So they've got a full month.
They've got 5 days.
Okay, well, you're saying you want to drag it out, now you're limiting the time. But I'm just saying there's an excuse to drag it out a little bit because they've said that they can find it. And we've said, look, we're going to label you frauds. Now, people bandy around the word fraud a lot, but when you're presenting evidence of how and why they're frauds and what they've done and how they've lied, then it has a bit more weight to it.
And the other thing to remember as well is that I rarely get evidence that can prove a negative, and I rarely get evidence that can disprove them. This time I've got negative clearance, and I've also got evidence that proves that they're lying, right? So this is rare. Normally you might get one or the other, but you rarely get negative clearance, right? But on this occasion I have, and I'm singing it because it's true, black and white, and it can't be disputed. So whatever he's... Oh, and by the way, shout out to Sean. He's basically doing this white noise analysis. And we all know what white noise is. It's basically like... It's the noise that your machine makes when there's nothing plugged in, or when it's, generally speaking, not broadcasting anything. It's just white noise. It's the electrical interference or whatever. And he's trying to compare and contrast the white noise between the microphones. But the problem with that is what he's basically doing is comparing silence with silence to see which silence is the louder. And that's basically what he's doing. I know it's not quite that simple, but that is basically what he's doing. All the evidence that I've got is comparing the frequencies that is coming out, all of the frequencies, and it's glorious.
Okay, Anthony, in the chat we've got stop traffic. Stop trafficking my Rasta hat. He's put something up. It's above Harmidi, right? So if you can go to the comment above Harmidi, would you like to read it and comment on it?
How far back is it?
It's like the comment. It's like 5 comments before that.
No, how far back is that?
Like
15 comments up.
Okay.
They just play what white noise is. This is white noise.
So why I can't see the comment you're on about. All I see from Rasta Hat is ha 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 MIDI. Is it?
Yeah. So the one up above that. So if you go to his comment prior to that.
Audio bitch.
Yes, that's the one.
Audio guy, audio bitch.
Audio bitch.
So let me just address the white noise, right? You just heard that the crackling noise that Nathan's just been playing, right? He's comparing the apparent white noise of my microphone, apparently, to the microphone noise of Jill's. But white noise isn't, as far as I know, and I might be wrong, so don't jump all over me, but white noise is not something that is positive. It's kind of like a negative thing. So you're effectively comparing silence to silence. And that's the way I understand it. It might be wrong, don't shoot me, but it's not the right test to be doing. And because Sean doesn't know what he's doing, he doesn't know how to get the right answer. But because other people in the world are skilled at the audio analysis, they do. And basically, Sean's fucked. So I'm really looking forward to it. So I can't wait. So massive shout outs to everybody that's been over and put a comment on his channel. So we've got John Watson again. Will you fucking stop notifications from this thread? Keep blocking my chat. You know, we trust MiG13FE. A couple more that I can read here. Oh, I like that comment. Ute says Sean is going to get exposed by Riley in the next week or so. Excellent. And he is. Ninja Man, these guys are a bunch of lying shills. I would just avoid a lot of them. Well, generally, I try and avoid them, but when they're all trying to... Because what it is, right, Sean tells everybody that Riley's done ABC, and that makes it true, according to them. And all these comments pop up in chat, and I'm like, what are you talking about, John the Morgile? And I have no idea where John the Morgile's name gets mentioned from. But it turns out that at some point, one of them said something like, oh, I reckon that might be John the Morgile. And before you know it, they're all going around saying it's John the Morgile. And I'm like, you utter morons.
Oh, where did you get that from?
What?
Utter morons.
Yeah.
Shout out to the rumpus.
Shout out retracted.
Thief. I can't believe he stole his MO. I mean, come on, that's his MO.
I know, but the best thing is to retract shout outs. The more we can shout out ballers, right, and then retract it just because it's the baller.
Idiots.
Shout out to Ninja Man for catching magnetic tracks.
There's certain people that are ballers that I would shout out that I definitely wouldn't retract. So I don't know if he's still in the chat. He was earlier. I'm not actually looking at the chat, but he had Was in, and Was to me is quite a reasonable guy. You know, he asks reasonable questions. He's not that impolite or impolite at all. He just seems like a reasonable guy asking reasonable questions. Yeah, he's a complete globehead. That doesn't make him a dick. Just a regular guy. So if you shouted out Was, or if I shouted out Was, I wouldn't expect you to retract that.
I don't know. Sometimes I think ballers by default should be retracted. Just because it's...
What?
We could drop them in randomly just to see if anybody's paying attention. So we could shout out GeoStreamer and then see if anybody retracts it just for the fun of it. Shout out to GeoStreamer and then someone says shout out retracted. It's like when you know when you play drinking games and someone says something wrong and they have to have a drink. It's kind of like that where you're paying attention.
Like a forfeit.
Yeah, it's a punishment. Right, so we're on 34 now, so we're well racking up some good comments here. Let's have a look. Scroll down. Let's see how many's at the bottom. The good thing is if you like all the comments, you can see the new ones.
Hang on, you're not screen sharing though, so it's not like we can see anything.
Well, hang on. Let's see if Nathan's comment.
At the very least, watch his advert. At the very least, don't be miserable. Watch his ad.
Watch his advert.
Sean's.
He's getting all the likes and views and stuff anyway, isn't he? So does he need to have more?
Yeah, I just encourage people that he's got a YouTube channel that's monetized, and he is actually genuinely in need of the money. Same as me, he's in the same boat. So from that perspective, I just see him as another YouTuber. So it's like forget our differences. He's on YouTube trying to earn a crust. So watch his ad. Hold on. Talking about so just so people know, for an ad to make a difference to a YouTuber, you need an ad impression, and an ad impression you can achieve with 50% of the ad if it's less than 30 seconds. So, or if it is, sorry, let me get this right, 30 seconds or half, whichever comes sooner. So if you've got a 10-minute ad and you watch 30 seconds of it, that creates an ad impression. Whereas if you've got a 30-second ad, you can watch 15 seconds of it, and that'll give you an ad impression. So it's half or 30 seconds, whichever comes sooner, is how much of an ad you want to watch. So you don't have to sit through a 10-minute ad. But I just remember, from years back when I was first in touch with Russian vids, this was part of the conversation that he and I had together. And it was like, basically, I encourage people to watch my ads. Absolutely no shame in being a YouTuber. In fact, I'm very proud of it. And that's how I earn my living. And the same applies to Sean. So as much as we have these differences about things like this, in this regard, he's just a YouTuber and he is getting views. He may even get a few subs out of it. Good for him, is my attitude. When the ballers attack me, that's why I call them adverts. There's no such thing as bad publicity. As far as I'm concerned, I've researched that plenty to be able to say that. There are a few caveats that I'm not going to add here if people push me on it. But yeah, there's no such thing as bad publicity. There's a guy in chat at the beginning of the show going, I'm screen capping all this. Because I was saying, GeoStreamer's an ugly sod. He's never going to get laid. And he's like, screen cap. I'm like, good. Take that. Go and make me an advert. Good dog. Because it helps. It helps me grow as a YouTuber. People don't get it. They think that, when they attack me and make up bullshit about me, that it's going to in some way hurt me. And it's like, no, it's just an advert.
And can I also say all the likes versus dislikes? So it doesn't really matter. So if you get 2,000 likes versus dislikes, that's 2,000 algorithms that YouTube used to put in their analytics, right? So they will promote that video regardless. So every time that you literally dislike a video, you're essentially helping the guy that's actually done it. So I so like that SciManDan has sent all the trolls over to my channel, because I've had like 2,000 dislikes on a video that I've done, which is great because it will promote my video.
Right, so I need to name and shame some people here, right? I see Be Here in Love, and I do not see a comment on the video of Sean's. So Be Here in Love, you're getting named and shamed. And what I'm going to do, just for you, Be Here in Love, I'm going to put the link in chat so that you can go and do it, and then we don't have to have a fight. By the way, Oakley, I still don't see your comment, but I do see Ranty's.
Right, can I just also say, that this is quite important, why have I got feedback? Anthony.
What?
Feedback.
Not me.
It is you.
My mic's miles away. I'm on the sofa on the opposite side of the room. It can't be.
It's feedback from you.
Hang on.
You're always the instigator with this. There we go, it's better.
Is that working?
Yeah, but you've lowered your mic down to hide my feedback.
Do you know what? You're just so not Nathan Oakley. Oakley, where's your comment?
So going on to the ad side of stuff, right? So Nathan, who does his channel, right? So you guys, you watch his stuff, you watch his videos, you are all entertained, right? If you think about to the film, what is it called? Gladiator, when he goes, "Are you not entertained?" Right? Okay, so he puts his body on the line, he gets chopped up or whatever, and he's, people are entertained and they get to watch it. So Nathan does his videos, right? And he's trying to earn a living doing his channel. So if you're not entertained, that's great. But if you are entertained and you have ad block and you have it on your channel, or
boo, ad block, boo.
Yeah, disable it. Disable it for just a couple of minutes so that you can watch the start of the video, right? You can, let the fucking advert play, right? Because essentially you don't have to put your hand in your pocket to actually contribute towards the running of the show. You can let YouTube pay for that, right? Because, YouTube is entertaining you for a couple of hours every day, right? So if you have ad block, take it off. Nathan gets a payment from that. Doesn't make any difference to you, right? Just what I'm saying.
I don't know if Arwen's had a few drinks. There's Al Dodo porn, 24/7.
Arwen can be named and shamed as well. Winnie and Gravity. Get your
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
What do you mean you
What?
Oakley, where's
Because what he's done is he's turned the gain right up on his mic. I think.
Yeah, yes, yeah. He's
Right.
playing the game.
Then going, it ain't me causing the feedback. Oh, right, with your gain at 100%, and you sat on the sofa 10 meters from it.
Yeah, he's like a beach whale sat on the fucking chair or the fucking
need.
couch.
No need.
What? Am I too loud or too quiet?
What's going on with your mic? Man, this has turned into amateur hour. Two pissheads.
Right, let me just check it. Hang on a sec.
Right, roll yourself off the couch.
Have you turned him right down and Ranty or something?
I haven't touched anything. It's he that has touched the actual microphone.
Is that what the issue is? Is that any different?
It's
No.
all going wrong.
Oh my god.
Sort it out, Anthony. Quick, Ranty, put some pressure on him. Sort it out, quick. Anthony, God.
Anthony, come on. Roll.
What are you
Roll.
doing?
I haven't changed.
Anthony, have you sorted it out yet? Do you need us to help you?
Is he trolling?
What?
What's the issue?
Can't hear you. Oh, God.
Speak
Ruining
up.
your show. He's ruining your show.
How close are you to the mic, Nath?
Kick it.
Me? Much
Yeah.
closer than I am normally. Sorry, I knocked it with my head as I sat down.
Are you eating it?
I can see.
I was, yeah. Above me, so it's like it's above my eye line, so I don't actually notice how close it is. So sometimes when I'm like yelling at ballers after the show, I'll go, "Wow, that was loud," and I appreciate then that because I can't see it. It's literally 3 inches above my head, so it really is loud.
Come on, Anthony. Sort it out, mate. What are you doing?
Is that any different?
No.
Ranty, it was fine a minute ago. What's wrong?
Literally got no sound from him now.
It's literally you. Whatever you did about the feedback that I was getting feedback. I was hearing myself repeated, and you did something on your end.
Anyway, let's not this turn into a load of dead air.
This isn't dead air. This is Ace. You're
Yes,
listening to the inner brain of Anthony whilst he tries to figure out what's gone wrong.
he's dropped. He'll come back when he's figured it out. Yes, Anthony and Ranty have both had a few drinks.
I haven't had that many.
You should add that to the show title. It's always an audience winner if you put drunk in the title.
Yeah, I am quite drunk. I'll agree to that.
Yeah.
If I was held under under are you definitely drunk, I would say yes. Really drunk, possibly. Very drunk. Yeah, I'll find out in probably an hour when I can no longer speak. So
And
yeah.
very, very, very drunk is. Yeah, of course I could drive. I'm fine.
Listen, I'd have trouble walking the fucking dog right now.
Is that working? Come on.
No.
What do you mean no? What?
You're on the wrong mic.
Too quiet.
Yes, you are very, very quiet.
I have no idea why.
Oh, there you go. You got louder.
Right, getting a bit louder.
I haven't changed anything. I don't understand what's going on.
Well, if you move nearer to the fucking microphone, you.
No, I'm about 6 inches away from it,
You
and I haven't
fucking-
changed nothing.
You troll.
That's perfect now.
You absolute troll. You just moved the fucking microphone nearer to yourself, you troll. Got you.
So is that working now?
Yes, it's working.
I don't know what the fuck was wrong with that.
Yeah, I do.
God, what is this? IRL Media?
Shout out to Adam Meakin.
Adam is awesome, by the way. Adam's awesome.
Has he recovered from his cold yet? He's had the longest cold in the history of humankind. I messaged him the other day and I said, are you free to chat? And he says, no, I'm dying of a cold. I'll get back to you. I've not heard from him since.
Because with the same picture of me, which is children.
Nathan's the same. He's got some kind of E. coli or something, or something.
Nathan's
like
always
that.
got the lurgy.
Yeah, he's always ill.
I didn't used to be. Before Eleanor came along, I was very rarely ever sick.
And do you know what? Do you know what's going to be funny with this? Right, Sean's going to interpret this trolling as, yeah, they're so stupid. They don't realize that I'm making money out of this. Yeah, we do, Sean. It's fine. We don't mind. We just wanted to let you know that you're a wanker.
Yeah. Yes, did his trolling, he would actually give people money in their super chat, like in some instances, quite large chunks of money. So I'm not suggesting that you go and donate to Sean's super chat. Well, I mean, feel free if you want to, but you know what I mean. I'm just saying that's a more effective way of getting someone's attention. In other words, if he goes to his stats one day and goes, "Wow, I made $5 out of that video," great, that would make my day. Sounds like nothing, but that is actually what it boils down to. I make $2 or $3 out of each video, if that. So if I made $5, I'm like, sweet.
Right. So do we need to name and shame Be Here and Love? And are winning in gravity?
Why would you need to? Whoa, hang on, wait a minute. What? Calm down. Deep breaths. Right. Shame and name.
She's an ad blocker user, and she's proud of it.
Who's that?
Be Here and Love.
Damn.
Nathan, I still don't see your comment in this thing.
And he's blocked me.
Oh.
Right, well, you're sharing now. Are you sharing?
No. I can screen cap it, though. I'll go back to it again and get it.
Yeah, let's show that Sean's got you blocked, right? You didn't swear in it. It's not gone into a spam filter, right?
Although everyone else's comment showing up, so it is a little bit suspicious at this point. Right, there's you're coming to the top now for sure.
Yeah, and there's like 20. Hang on, how many? 26 likes on it, right?
Right. Well, why aren't you screen sharing right now?
Listen, I've only just got my mic working again. Do you want me to do a screen share too?
Right, I'm under FE Astronomy. I'm between Ninja Man and FE Astronomy.
Right, let's have a look.
I'm watching your ad, Sean.
Oh yeah, I've got FE Astronomy and Ninja Man, and there's no Oakley. Do you know what? He must have blocked you because of the Slapgate.
Right, we need proof of this. I mean, come on, guys. You need to share this. One of you at least needs to share the screen without sharing the link.
I've shared it to Anthony now on Skype if you want to share it.
All right, so if I share...
Hey, well, listen, by the way, guys, I mean, people in chat, yeah? We've got nearly 100 watching right now, so what you're listening to now is like the after show, where quite often 3 or 4 times a week we will have these kind of conversations, and what you're listening to now is our general chit chat, what we do.
Yeah, this is before we started this live show, we were having exactly this conversation on Skype, and I just said to Ranty, why don't you do this as a live hangout? We do this all the time, and you're keen to build your channel at the moment. The way to build it is to have more hangouts. So this conversation may not be that interesting to people watching. It may be fascinating, but either way, it's absolutely no effort to just click on go and do what we're doing anyway.
I reckon a bit of poking the bear is always entertaining. If there's something really worth poking, we need a poke in the bear meme with Sean's face and me on the other end of the poke in the bear. So if anybody's that good with memes, find one that's poking the bear.
Well, I used to put them in the Ball Earth Circus. So when I was using multiple channels to figure out which one would get popular, so I had Oakley called Nathan Oakley and Nathan Oakley 1980. And by whatever reason, Nathan Oakley 1980 was the one that ended up gathering momentum. But I used to have them in the Oakley cage, at the Ball Earth Circus. So my first troll was Sly Sparkane, who I stuffed in the Oakley cage and would poke with a gravity stick. And every so often I'd come down and I'd chuck in some globes and some Cavendish balls for them to play with. I had this whole shtick going on, this whole routine with my trolls. But yeah, All Earth Circus with a gravity.
Sorry, go on.
So I was just going to round out by saying what I'd tell the chat would be roll up to the Ball Earth Circus and poke the trolls for only a penny a poke.
Right. So if you want
to, Anthony, whoa, hang on one sec. I just want to respond to Spirit of Longthorn. I was asked to make you a moderator tonight. Have you tried non-monetized money? I have no idea what that means, but essentially, I don't know whether you know my channel or anything about me or who I am or what I've done, but essentially I've run this channel for nothing, essentially for a year. And, you're talking about money and it's making me feel a bit uneasy about that kind of thing, because essentially I have done this for the flat Earth. Everything I've done right now is for the flat Earth. The cameras that I have, the work that I've put in, everything I've done, all the effort I've put in has been unmonetized. You know, it's only been in the last 3 weeks that I started a Patreon, etc. Right? So, you know, I'm all, you know, don't categorize me as like, you know, this is all, you know, about money. It's not. It's literally, you know, the more popular that people look into my work and they feel that, okay, you know, I can support this guy. If I'm going to go to Wales or I'm going to go to Scotland and I'm going to do these experiments, you know, it doesn't get there on its own. You know, I mean, I need to put petrol in the tank, you know. So you talking about money and stuff, it does make me a little bit uneasy about you. Just saying.
I tell you what's a really good byproduct of that. I can also use the fact that I'm not monetized so that I don't have to do stuff. Because
you're fucking rich, that's why.
No, I'm not rich, but what I mean is if I'm not getting paid to do it, I don't really want to do it. I'd rather be on the chat and just like troll the ballers. But if someone says to me, well, why have you not gone and done this, Riley? Well, I will go and do it if it's important enough. But a lot of people say stuff and I just can't be bothered. But at least if I'm not monetized, I've got an excuse not to do it. So shout out to not being monetized.
Yeah, I've got a totally different attitude to both of you, because I absolutely want my YouTube channel to be successful. And unfortunately, society gauges success with its financial increments of improvement. So, you know, that's what I want. I'm not going to lie. I've got no shame in that whatsoever. That's, I don't know, it tends to be the case that I don't actually get a great deal of criticism for it because I'm quite blatant and overt about it. Yeah, hit my super chat. Yes, I do want you to give me your money. Just because I've got no shame in that. It was
Smash
the same.
The super chat's the best saying ever.
What's that? Smash the super chat.
Yeah. For rum hookers and coke. It's just brilliant.
But I'm genuinely grateful, though. That's the other difference. I do actually watch quite a few YouTubers that literally don't even mention it when their super chat gets hit. And sometimes I will miss them, mostly when I'm screaming at ye old baller. But on the whole, I like to think that every single person that has ever given me anything, I'm eternally grateful for. You know, if someone gives me $1 in YouTube super chat, I'm actually very, very grateful to them, because if it wasn't for those people giving it me, I would be doing something else, you know, because I wouldn't be able to sustain myself. Everybody requires money, as Ranty rightly points out. And if you're doing extras beyond your general living, it's going to cost you more. Hence me thinking that Ranty doing a Patreon is absolutely a superb idea. You know, he's not got a channel that's going to generate a decent income from ad revenue ever, you know, until 12 months, 18 months when he builds it up a bit. And then it's going to be worth monetizing, and then he will generate whatever, £50 from ad revenue. But in the meantime, he's actually out there doing it. You know, he's putting it on my channel. He's giving people content for them to, on the Globe side, rip to pieces and say it's not true because of reasons, and on the Flat Earth, them to say, yay, it's obviously flat. But that is good, and that does require a certain amount of money, and people have supported Ranty through that. You know, they've given him money through Patreon, and I'm not ashamed.
Only recently.
I'm not in the slightest bit embarrassed to have this conversation. Watch my ads.
To be honest, right, and this is no word of a lie, I had set up my Patreon a month ago. Apparently people are supposed to pay in on the 1st, which means I get paid, you know, it was literally a few days ago. So my first payment from Patreon, I think I took out 70 or 80 pound. It was around that sort of figure. It might have been 60 or 70. And that was it. That's literally what I've had. And I've been to Scotland, to Wales, you know, going down to Blackpool every day, filming, you know. I don't even want to go into it, you know. I mean, people that know me know my stuff, right? So when you say that, you know, oh, I've had Patreon money, I haven't really, you know. And it's never been about the money, but it's been about people have asked me to go down to certain places and do these kind of stuff. And it's like, well, okay, well, I can do this and I'm willing to do it. But, you know, come on, there comes a point where when you first do it and you've only got 2 subscribers, it's great, you know, you can do it in your leisure. But when you've got 100 subscribers, you know, you're under a little bit more pressure. When you've got 600 people that, you know, that are asking you to go and do this stuff, you respond to these guys and you're like, okay, well, you really need to put the work out there, right? And it's got to the point now where, because all the people that subscribe to me, they subscribe to me because they want to see the evidence. So a lot of I get a lot of pressure for going to do experiments and to go to places and do observations. So it doesn't, fuel doesn't just enter the car for free. I have to put money in the car. It's just the way it is. It's life.
You say one more time, I'm gonna have to snot you.
Well, don't snot me.
People don't know. That's why
I've had a drink.
I stopped drinking like an hour, like 90 minutes ago.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I heard you slurping before.
Sorry, before you argue about how much you want to drink, am I right in saying it was Spirit Longthorn? Was that the guy you were talking about? My eyes getting a bit blurry. Who was the guy that you were saying I'm a bit suspicious of?
Oh.
Ranty.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
What I'm going to do, Ranty, given that you asked me to screen share like an hour ago.
You are screen sharing right now. Literally been screen sharing for the past 20 minutes.
Oh, have I? Okay, well, hang on a sec. I'm not quite there yet. I want to give a shout out to the first meme that's come in.
Hang on, wait a minute. Does that mean that you're not actually watching my YouTube channel?
Well, you asked me to screen share. How am I going to do both?
What, you couldn't have another window open?
Yeah, it's on the other screen, the other monitor though, so it's not going to work at the minute. I'm going to give a really cool shout out to the first meme that I've seen so far. So give me 1 sec while I pop open the Skype. I'll move that off the screen so other people's privacy is protected. And I think there we go. Let's open this one. Should be awake. Hang on, bear with me. It's coming. There we go. My screen sharing, yeah.
You are, yeah.
Shout out to the first meme that's come in so far for Sean. Now who that was? I know who it is, but I want to get his name right.
Hang on, wait a minute. Is it Hyena?
It is a hyena one, and the name on this one is
Legendary Super Looming Perspective Enigma Hyena.
No, it's just Don Hyena on this one. So shout out to Don Hyena for the meme already, because that came in pretty quick. It did come in about a while ago, but I didn't get a chance to play it. So this is definitely going to be the thumbnail for one of the hangouts coming up, Nathan.
Let's just check with Legendary Super Looming Perspective Enigma Hyena. Is that one of yours, my friend? Don
Hyena is coming through. So it's one of the hyena accounts. And for the longest of times, I thought the hyena accounts were trolling us. So I saw what they were doing, but I didn't trust them for ages until someone told me that they were friends and it's fine. And I'm like, right, okay, that's fine.
There's several of them, several hyenas. But the definitive is definitely the Legendary Super Looming Perspective Enigma Hyena, who has changed his name several times. I had to keep up. He does correct me. So I have obviously various buttons on my box that I press just to put generic chat comments out into the feed. And one of them is shout out to Legendary Super Looming Perspective Enigma Hyena, because I just think it's brilliant. He's evolved that name. It started off with slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena, and then every time mainly rumpus would add another little adjective or another little word onto that list, so you ended up with the super looming.
I think that he should change his name from super to hyper. So legendary hyper.
Nah, super looming was actually one of the descriptions that they came up with. So when it was like, I think it was when Anthony was on his belly, getting the north end of the Isle of Man, and they were like, "Well, it's super looming." You're like, "Oh, hello, super looming, eh?"
Oh, by the way, I want to give a premature or like an advanced disclosure. One of the things that the GeoStreamer's fucked up on, aside from the fact that I can prove that his mic was open and my mic was actually shut, another thing that he's done, which is great, is that he's talking to somebody in the background, right? And I don't know, presumably it's soundly, but he's talking to him in a state where he loses his coherency in the sentence that he's talking in to me. He starts, like wandering in you can see that his mind's wandering and he's not able to do two things at once because he's a guy. So we know that we can't do this.
Wait a minute, what do you mean we can't do two things at once?
Well, guys know that we can't do two things at once, right? Well, come on, it's generally known that men can't multitask, right? And pissing in the sink while brushing your teeth doesn't count. But anyway, one of the things he does is he says to somebody in the background, he says something like, yeah, that's the point on a contentious issue, where he would never ever be saying that to me because he's against me on this point. It's contentious. It's to do with the semantics of the word "and," or I can't remember what the words are, but it's a really contentious point. And he says, yeah, and that's the point. And I'm like, well, who the fuck's that be? Who's that comment to? Because that comment's not aimed at me, is it? It's obviously someone you're talking to. So come on, GeoStreamer, who is it? And obviously, it's not come out just yet, but we'll be definitely playing that one because that's a great clip. It's like, who are you talking to? Oh, and by the way, Soundly's in the background here. Yeah, you're definitely talking to somebody, aren't you, you little shit? It's all good. I can't wait.
I mean, there's actually loads of evidence in that little clip, and we're not going to bore the audience with it because some of it is not as good as what we've presented. But I suggested to Anthony compile it all together and show it. It's like, nah, why? People will go back and listen to that hangout on GeoStreamer's channel and do the same. But ultimately, there's a bit in it, the bit that everyone gets to listen to, that we've played about 100 times, that is so blatantly obvious what's going on. You don't need any more than that.
Yeah.
Ambiguous bits, why bother? It's like, yeah, you can hear a bit of Soundly, and then you hear Anthony talk, then you hear Geo talk. That's a bit more ambiguous. But when it's literally a question followed by an answer,
do you know what's funny is because like Nathan had the moment live on the show where he realized that it was coherent conversation, right? Now, we didn't know what was coherent about it for a while, other than the fact that there was clearly a back and forth. But Nathan realized that he was actually answering a question, and the question that Geo said was, "Where is it? Down here, right?" And now I didn't realize that wasn't aimed at me. But he's obviously asking this bloke in the background that now turns out to be Soundly, "Where is it? Down here, right?" And then the next thing that Soundly says is, "Yeah," and go back to that definition he cites too. And when Nathan realized that's when it all became clear, and it was coherent conversation. It was contemporaneous, coherent conversation, and they still deny it. Now, the thing is, right, in my case, I had to go through a bit of soul searching because I thought maybe it was me. Maybe I did have someone on in the background and I didn't know, because I don't remember whether I'm pretty certain it was silence, because I remember being in the living room and I remember the conversation. I remember that hangout because it was one of my first few with GeoStreamer, but I don't remember specifically whether I had the radio playing in the background or something that may have been provided. But I thought, as far as I was concerned, I didn't have anything playing, right? But I wasn't absolutely 100% sure because it was like 7 months ago, right? It was a while ago. So I don't remember. But if I was having a conversation with somebody, I would definitely remember. And GeoStreamer will remember it, and he's playing silly.
Anthony, how did you be made aware that there was some kind of background noise that could be identified?
Jimmy came into the hangout with Nathan. Jimmy started citing the distance to the sun evidence, which happened to be Christine Huygens and Cassini. And even though we pronounced it Cassina, I knew who he was on. I knew who he was on about. But the consequence of that meant that it means that the angular size is an issue, because if you're going to assume that Venus is the same size as Earth, then that changes the way that the angular size works in terms of, because now you know a distance, or you assume a distance, right, so you can work out the distances to everything else.
Can I just ask Anthony? Did that make you go back and revisit Hangouts?
Yeah.
And that's how you actually found out that there was this other noise in the background?
Yeah. I went back to Geo's Hangout because I wanted to hear exactly what was being said, because there might have been a snippet of information that he'd said that was wrong or whatever. But you miss things. You don't catch things that are said live until after the event, and you wish you'd have been paying attention or whatever. But this is why it's ridiculous to assert that I was listening to a Hangout, because I'm listening to every word he says. And I'm waiting for all the words dripping out of his mouth, the bullshit spewing out of his mouth. And you miss a lot of stuff because it's done live. But because I went back and listened to it, I just heard this noise and I was like, what was that? rewound it, played it again. I thought, that sounds like there's a conversation happening there. So I went on the computer, downloaded the whole Hangout, got the bit out that I wanted, amplified it, and I thought, somebody's up to no good. Ran it by Nathan, and I said, this is what I think. What do you think? And he was like, maybe just run it and see what happens. Then I thought, once he'd said that, I thought, should I or shouldn't I? And I thought, nah, just put it out and see what happens. Because if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. I'll hold my hands up and I say, right, okay, fair enough. Because I do make mistakes. I'm human, right? However, on this one occasion, it wasn't a mistake. There was the Hangout conversation in the background that shouldn't be there. And it wasn't from me. And I knew it weren't from me, but I didn't know what exactly it was. And it all came from Jimmy. Because Jimmy said something in the Hangout live, and it prompted me to go back. So shout outs to Jimmy, because if it hadn't have been for you, Jimmy, I would never have gone back. So you were the catalyst, Jimmy. Just want you to know that.
That was another introduction to some of the Flat Earth audio guys. So what happened was Jimmy basically came in with a voice changer, and everyone called him on it. And at the time, we were saying, you're lying about something else. He made a citation and added to it. We called him on it. He denied it. So we're saying, you're a liar. You know, we've caught you red-handed. We know what you've done. You're still denying it. Why are you such a big fat liar? So at the end of it, I got so annoyed with him because what he did was he transcribed the conversation and added annotations to it. It pissed me off royally, I tell you. I was very annoyed. Said, look, get lost. Don't come back. I don't want you here. You know, if you're going to lie and then try and cover it up by doing the exact same lie. So he's added to a citation and then he's added to a transcript. I'm like, oh, that makes my blood boil so much. Anyway, I said, look, sod off, don't come back. So he came back with a voice changer following day. And everyone was like, well, that's obviously you, Jimmy. We know it is. And he denied it and denied it and denied it. And then Flat Earth Audio gets in touch with me and goes, literally just went, here you go. And I was like, what's this? I played it. And it's whatever the guy, Big Bobby or whatever the guy was called, black guy on the avatar. So it's him pretending to be a black guy with a voice changer. And when he played it to me, I was like, what is this? What is this? Play it through. And it's the guy that's coming with the voice changer. And then the voice changer removed completely, reverse engineered by Flat Earth Audio. And Jimmy, in his normal voice with not a single, I mean, when I take off like, what's the fly boy called? What's his name? Wolfie. When I take off Wolfie and like speed up the audio or try and do like rudimentary changes to the sound, I'll still put on a voice. Yeah, all right, mateys, or whatever, you know, and then you speed it up. So that, you know, you've got a few different levels to the disguise. All Jimmy's done is literally put a voice changer on and then not changed his voice at all. So when it's been reverse engineered, it's literally just him talking. He was hysterical. But again, yet another example of a complete lying sack of shit that's in the debates fighting for the ball. And a proven liar. Just like Sean Hufford, Geo Deceiver, and Geo Whisperer.
Come on, Nathan. We need you to... Anthony, turn that back down, right? Right, we need you to kind of do some kind of Aussie speak, because it was quite funny.
I just did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did it for like 3 words. I mean, come on, say a couple of sentences.
So why is it that the Geo Deceiver doesn't talk about the Sheilas?
That's pretty good.
You need to say that one where he says, because I'm a pilot.
Because I'm a pilot. Nah,
Because I'm a pilot. I want to talk about my plane. Forget Flat Earth. I want to show my cockpit because I'm a pilot. Right, I need to show you guys something that's literally just come up on my live feed on my phone. Check this out, right? So this, I'm going to call this before I even watch it, right? I'm looking at the thumbnail on my phone, right? So HIITH. Please don't go to this channel, because he's come up on my feed in the last couple of days, and I've been laughing at some of his nonsense, right? But look at him. I mean, look at the state of this guy. He's got a haircut that belongs in a zoo.
What's his name? Phuket Words just attacked this guy. So check out Phuket Words' response video to this dickhead.
So what this guy's doing is reciting Pontchartrain. Now, what he's literally doing is he's claiming that he was in the area and he's just happened to call by, and he's happened to stop, and he's just literally seen these, and he thought he'd take a picture of it. Right? This is obviously Soundly's work, but bear in mind that what's his face, Jose is going over there on Tuesday. This is just perfectly timed. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to claim that he's just happens to have gone by, right? I'm going to call bullshit on this straight away on the basis that we've been trying ages to get somebody to go over there with a camera.
No
Look at the fucking state of him.
He's claiming that what is blatantly Soundly's pictures are his.
No, I think I haven't watched this video, so I'm assuming that what he's going to say is that, well, on my phone, it doesn't play the music as a preview. It gives the subtitles. And what he claims is that he was just driving by Pontchartrain on this day, right? So I'm imagining he's just literally pulled over without any care in the world and just gone and caught and validated Soundly's work, right? So he's crediting Soundly for getting it. And I reckon at some point in this video, he's going to show what he got. I don't know where it is. Oh, this might be the clip here. Let's see if we can get it. So he's modeling it. It must be here. This must be his actual clip.
Oh, come on. Seriously. Right. The more I see that image, right, the more that I see that image, the more I want to puke up into my fucking bowl.
Yeah, but what this tells me...
That tells me... No, Anthony. That tells me that we live on a fucking Earth that is like fucking 200 miles in circumference.
Yeah, but what this tells me is this guy's literally been sent by somebody because Soundly's failed. That's what this tells me. This is the next guy in the machine.
Just a joke. I mean,
well, if that's his evidence, that's worse than Soundly's. Oh, no way. That is Soundly's.
Utter garbage. Garbage. Try getting out into the real world and filming real photography, doing the stuff I do, repeated, day in, day out, let's see the real world, none of this cherry picking shit.
Listen, this guy must have been bullied in school. To have a haircut like that, you must have had that head flushed a couple of times, right? There is no way that this guy, I think this is his actual video with this bit here.
Oh, man.
So if it's that obvious, right, and this bloke's got this crappy little bit of camera footage, right? So that means that Jose is going to come back and it's going to be the same. Because the ballers were predicting that Jose wouldn't get it, right? For whatever reason. But this guy claims to have got it, and I'm guessing the curvy bit's just on the tip there, right? This is going to be really interesting to see what this really ramps up against Jose now, because Jose's got to get the same stuff. Because if this guy's getting it and Soundly's getting it, then Jose must get it, right? So if Jose comes back and it's not looking like this, guess what?
What am I looking at here? This doesn't look like anything.
Well, to be honest, I haven't watched the video yet. It's just come up on my feed right now, so I'm not entirely sure what. I'm assuming that this is his clip, and this is his evidence. So I don't really know.
Is that Soundly?
Doesn't seem to be showing curvature.
Not at all.
I haven't watched the video. He may not be claiming, but I reckon he is claiming that it's curve.
Where?
I don't know, but what I do see down here is I see Dr. Zach's symbol, so maybe this is not his video. I don't know. I'm not going to make any claims about it, other than that this has just come up on my feed now. So right, this must be what did they call it, Nathan? Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, perhaps. Anthony, how many times you've been out and filmed water or bodies of water, and you've seen much further than you should do?
Yeah, loads. But what this tells me is that he's the latest kid in the machine. He's Soundly, the next Soundly version 2. Soundly's probably, because I noticed that Soundly's not really been around very much recently.
Well, no, because we destroyed that little bitch. Nathan, what would you say to people that say that they can see beyond the curve? What would you say that they're actually seeing?
What do you mean, see beyond the curve?
So if there was a curve in their mind and they're seeing an image, right, or we present an image and they disagree with what we're seeing, what would you say to those people that actually believe what they're actually seeing? What would you think?
I get you. I think you're saying
the looming
of, say, Barrow in Finesse
at
8 miles, and there's buildings in the picture. And what you're asking me is, what would I say to that versus what would a baller say? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, essentially. But we see it because it's there. The looming, they have to say that it's looming, right? So
We're talking about concrete nouns. We just see it. There's no phenomena. You're just looking at a building. So Ranty zooms in his camera, sees the buildings at Barrow Inverness. Why does he see them? Well, because he can see them. There's no explanation required whatsoever. He sees them because they're there. It is as simple as that. But that explanation stands to reason on a flat plane. There's no explanation on a flat plane required. As soon as you move over to the ball model, you're in a position where, because I believe in a ball model that has begged the question, assumed a radius, and then inserted itself into mathematics that say this building should not be there, therefore the building isn't really there. It's actually a slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena. It's not really there. It's being projected up from beyond the curve that you can't see into a line of sight that you don't actually have. So it's not really there. It's a hologram. You just think it's there. And the effect of this is, of course, explained by simply using a formula called terrestrial refraction, 7/6 of the same presupposed radius that I mentioned earlier. So given all of that being the case, what you actually have when you look at the building across the way that you've zoomed in on isn't a building, it's a phenomena.
So how would that act if you was like in a maritime war, so you're on a warship, let's say you go back a couple of 100 years and you're fighting another warship, what would be the chances of you actually hitting the other ship if what you actually saw wasn't actually what you actually saw because it was just hologram?
Well, that reminds me of Thingy's video, Taboo Conspiracies.
Yeah.
Is that what you were going to say?
I was going to say exactly that. He's got a Periscope video and he's doing the commentary. Obviously, it's comedy, but he's got all these various videos through the Periscope at different distances. And it's like, oh, that one's 18 miles away, so I'm pretty sure we can only see half of it. And then he looks at the next one. He's like, oh, that's 30 miles away. No, that's definitely a refraction. That's beyond the curve. We can't hit that.
Yeah, it's utter garbage. Has everybody seen that 500-mile infrared camera observation from the plane? If you haven't seen that, go and look at Jay Tolan Media's channel, Jay Tolan Media. You'll find it. 500 miles, not a curve. It's just garbage. There's no way that this can be seen on a sphere. He'd have to be at like 150,000 feet, and he's about 30,000 feet. Might be 25, might be 35, but he's about 30,000 feet, right? He's on a plane. And you ain't seeing that unless you're like 100. I think it was 129,000 feet, something like that, before you even see the tippy tops of it. And he's not at that elevation. It's glorious. I can see everybody in chat. I'm on my phone.
Pretty late. I'm gonna get to bed soon. So
bed? You don't sleep on flat Earth?
I do. I've got stuff in the morning, I'm afraid.
Oh
no. Lightweight. Yeah. You're the one that hasn't had a drink tonight. Us two have had a drink and we're still going.
Yeah, I'm going to bed in a minute as well.
Oh, come on, Anthony.
Yeah, but once Nathan goes, I can't bully him. Oh, shout out to Nathan for being blocked on Sean Hufford's channel, by the way.
You get my screen cap?
I did, yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, he has left a comment and it's not there, so he must be blocked. But it must be because Nathan it's Slapgate, isn't it? I'm sure that's why they've done it.
Slapgate. Do you want to elaborate on Slapgate, Nathan?
Yeah, people heard us down my mic while my kid was running around and doing what kids do, and they assumed that I slapped her. So GeoStreamer even claimed I slapped her around the face.
Fucking hell.
But what didn't the sound come through my microphone though, Nathan?
Yeah, that's what we devised after that.
And people actually thought it was true.
There's a few people that quoted it after the fact. They were like, no, that sound came through Anthony's mic. Like, no. That was just an in-joke. That was me taking the piss out of GeoStreamer for claiming that about Anthony. So, no, it definitely came through my mic. But the clattering and banging that comes from this house, generally speaking, is a lot. I mean, for the following 2 days afterwards, I left the mic open to the point where everyone was getting pissed off because it was nothing but clattering and banging and screaming.
I was muting you, actually, not realizing you were doing it intentionally.
Yeah, I was a bit annoyed. I had to tell you off. I was like, no, the mic's going to be staying open So you can hear her climbing on things, jumping off things, falling on things, generally
Jumping on
making
your testicles.
noise, generally crying. You know,
Jumping on your testicles.
anybody with an ounce of discernment recognise that immediately. They're like, yeah, those are familiar sounds.
You missed the jumping on your testicles bit. That's what she does a lot of.
Yeah,
Come on, right? Really?
Yeah.
She
She'll kick
does.
him in the nuts.
He beats me up.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, you know, out of context, that could sound.
No, she kicks him in the nuts. It's fine. You
Just
often hear him going, oh.
Like literally kicks me in the balls. But that's what 2-year-olds do. She's got no concept of what kicking daddy in the balls means. Just climbing on me, up and down on my testicles. That's what a 2-year-old does.
I love the fact that when you're rounding out the show, she knows that it's coming. So she gets on your knee. I don't know how she does. It's like a yo-yo.
You can hear her sprinting in from the other room. As soon as I say with that, literally she'll sprint from the other room into here.
In 15, 16 years' time, she'll be saying, Dad, get rid of them videos, please.
So, Nathan, can I ask you, right? Okay. So, have you had any repercussions from the Slapgate on YouTube to the real world?
No.
No? Okay, fair enough. I meant repercussions as I meant in, like, you know, any kind of investigations.
Did the police come and arrest you, Nathan?
Yeah,
No.
were you handcuffed and taken away to cell block H?
No, not in the slightest.
Damn.
Because we know that they did ring the police, because I got told by a reliable source, that's what I'll call him, that they were all doing it. All of them. They were all reporting numerous different things to different authorities.
That's
Right.
really, that isn't it. How bad is that?
Real bad. And now we've got GeoStreamer begging Nathan for mercy, right, on a point that Nathan's basically it's GeoStreamer's real name, Nathan knows. And we know what university he goes to. And we're making him sweat. We're giving him a chance to come clean before we expose the liar that he is. And he's been threatened by Nathan to be doxxed. And we're not going to dox him, but don't tell him that. But he thinks that we might. So basically, he's got the chance to come clean, and he's not going to take it. Or he had the chance to come clean. He doesn't have the chance anymore. But basically, he's sweating now, and he deserves to sweat because he's a pig. I'm on a one-track mind tonight.
Ian Matheson asking if I've got any sock accounts. Absolutely not. I've got 3 accounts. All are active. All have got subscribers. No, I don't use sock accounts. I've got 3 channels: Nathan Oakley 1980, Nathan Oakley, and Oakley Court. That's it.
Just want to give a massive shout out to the 42 people or the 42 comments on that video. It's glorious that he's got the most popular video that's by a flat earther on his channel. Do feel free to go back and look in the next couple of days. I wonder if he'll delete it because it's the most popular comment on his video. I'm sure he won't, but he might do. So if he does, we'll be calling him on that one because he says he doesn't delete comments and stuff like that. So
while we're on the subject, let's have a little chat about this. Good on you, Ian Matheson, as you've sparked the conversation. So sock accounts in general, what's your opinions?
We get trolled by them all the time. It seems to be fair game. If we have troll accounts, seems to be reasonable to me.
Indeed, it looks like one butthurt troll can have 20, 30, 40, 50 sock accounts, and they can down thumb a video or repeatedly enter a chat, and they can still talk. And if they talk badly, you can ban them, obviously, but they can still rejoin on the other 50 accounts and down thumb a video. So
to be honest, it depends on what you mean by troll sock account. Do you mean a sock account that has no valid purpose, or do you mean other accounts that do get used?
Well,
no, a sock account is a sock account. So all 3 of my accounts are active. Therefore, they get views, they get video uploads. They're real accounts. Yeah. Now, that's not to say that somebody can have a real account that has no videos uploaded to it, because there are definitely people out there that aren't uploading videos and do have real accounts. It's the people that obviously come back with another account that they've only set up to rejoin chat feeds on YouTube or post multiple comments on people's videos to make it seem like there's more people with whatever opinion they have, or give themselves more thumbs up on their comments Nick L cracks me up. He'll put a comment, and then before I've even responded to it, I get comments quicker than anybody because I've got the YouTube Studio app. You go in and you go, oh, comment from Nick, 10 thumbs up. It's like, oh, right, so your comment has more ratings than the video has. It's like, whatever. You've clearly just got a load of sock accounts. So you just go and thumb your own comment up. Fair enough. Good for you. Give me the extra 10 views. Happy days. It's just pretty sad. Same when people accuse me of using socks. Was this you in a sock account? Believe me, if I've got something to say to you, I'll say it to you. You'll know it's me. I'm not going to hide behind a sock account. I've got balls. I don't need to hide behind sock accounts like these cowards. Red Rhetoric's one of them. Not only does he hide behind a Red Rhetoric sock, he has socks for his sock. So he's got a fake anonymous account. Red Rhetoric's a nothing. It's just a nothing name. It's not his name. It's not him. It's just a bullshit persona he's put together. But he's even got sock accounts to protect his anonymous account. That's how pathetic these people are. They're pussies.
Yeah. And they never, ever, 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 ever admit that they've got something wrong. I mean,
do you have any sock accounts on yourself, Anthony?
No, not soccer. I have accounts that I use for other genres. So just for example, if I was into daffodils, then I have another account that's not Flat Earth related for the daffodil conversation that I have. Because I do get involved.
Could I speculate and say that it would be Sleeping Daffodil?
No, I've just used that as an example. I have I have other accounts that I actively use in other regions of the internet that are not Flat Earth. Because I do enjoy the debate, I'll be honest. I do have an evolution account that no one knows. And I don't actually engage in it in person in that one in terms of being on the mic. Because there's not really a community in the evolution thing. There's so many people in the evolution debate that I never really see the same account twice. So I use it to try and have a conversation with, but nobody will ever find out what that's called. I have an account to do with work. I have an account to do with other things, but the only real one that I get the most input to and from is this one. I use this one the most because I enjoy the conversation on Flat Earth. I do enjoy the back and forth. I enjoy the banter. I enjoy the bullshit. I enjoy all the trolling because it's the best community of all the accounts that I use because the people are real. Really, really real. The people, like Ranty, real world person, Nathan, real world person. I've met these people in real world. I've not spoke to or met anybody in any of the other accounts that I have, so it seems totally detached. It's like a wheelchair that you never use. You've got one, but you never really use it, and when you do use it, it feels impersonal. It's just like that. So I do have other accounts that I use for other purposes. But the one I use the most is this one by miles because I use it all the time. But to answer the question, do I have sock accounts? I do have one sock account, but I use it so I can read the channels that I get blocked in, because I do get blocked. And I just want to see what people have said about me behind my back that are too I don't know, just arsehole. So it depends on what you mean by sock account, but I can't be bothered trying to use other accounts like what other people do to try and make it look like there's 50 of us. No, I don't need to do that. So that's where I'm at.
I have 1,009 sock accounts.
What?
Yeah, I subscribe to every single one of Ranty, so that's how I have 1,010 subscribers right now.
Oh, you're just joking. You're saying that all of your subscribers are yourself.
Yeah. SciManDan, hello.
But you say that because we're people that you've met in real life that makes us real, but every account has got a person behind it. Yeah, I'm excluding the bots, but everybody that's leaving a comment, as much as they're a faceless potato, there's still somebody behind that keyboard, behind that monitor, actually typing it out. And a lot of people don't appreciate that they're still leaving a digital paper trail. Sorry, I got such a heavy cold. You know what I mean? A digital paper trail behind them.
Fake cold.
Again?
That's a fake cold.
Fake cold, CGI cold.
Oh, by the way, Ranty, Ruhif has put an upload video with your name in it. Jose Gonzalez has just told me in the chat.
Really?
Told me to tell you.
Does that mean I have to go look for it?
Make sure you thank him for the advert.
Thank you for the advert, Ruhif. I have actually been speaking to Ruhif in Skype. He's asked me for information about going to Wales and all this kind of stuff, which I have freely provided. If he's done a video that's, I don't know, he's a Ball Earth proponent, and you know, what can I say? These guys, you know, if something looks, you know, like they can twist it to their beliefs, this is what they will do. You know, people know that my research is like, I'll show the good and the bad. You know, so if this guy's saying whatever, so be it. You know, I'll go and look at it. It doesn't mean anything. You know, I don't feel that there's
The
anything
heading
to
is called
hide.
Ranty is the king.
Indeed, I am.
Yeah, but the king of what though?
Probably bullshit, I would imagine.
So here's a good example, right? On the Ruhif channel, on that video, there's one comment currently, right? Because he's just uploaded it, and I can't see it. So it's somebody that I've either blocked, which it could be many people, or it's someone that's blocked me. So I'll use my other account just to go and see what the comment says, and then I'll just come back to this.
Can you stop screen sharing so it doesn't flash every time?
Me.
Yeah, I'm falling asleep, man.
Is that better?
How can you be falling asleep? It's only 2 a.m.
I don't sleep very often, but when I do, it's time to go.
Right, okay then. Well, I guess I better wrap it up then.
Just before you do go, I was just scrolling down his list of videos, and one of the videos that Ruhif has got is the title that says, "There's nothing wrong with the curve calculator." Well, why is it that nobody's mentioned it in months? Ever since Mick West admitted that it pre-assumes are, I don't think I've heard anybody make reference to the curve calculator. So I reckon that one's been debunked. So shout out to Ruhif.
And can I just say, you know, now that you've promoted Ruhif, the last two people you've promoted from the ball, right? It started with, let's see, Simon. Hang on, wait a minute. It started with SciManDan when he had like 150 subscribers. Now he's got 1 billion. Then you promoted Conspiracy Cats, which you asked people to subscribe to, and now he has 1 billion. And now you're promoting Ruhif.
I'm not really promoting him. I'm just shouting him out.
I'm only taking the piss, mate, because it's only what people would say. If I didn't say it now, people would say it.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look on Conspiracy Cats and see how many subs he's now got.
He's got more than me, and he's got like 12 shitty videos.
He's got 2,151 subs.
How many?
That's because of his videos.
How many?
2,151.
2,000.
Yeah.
I looked this morning. He had, well, I say this morning. It might have been yesterday morning, but he had like just over 1,000. That must mean that he's put on like 1,000 in 2 days.
It's the SciManDan effect.
It's the Anthony Riley promotes Ball Earth channel.
Well, he's still got the outstanding question that he's not answering, right?
Which is?
Well, he says that he told everybody that we live in an open system, right? And that atoms or gases escape into space every day. And that does happen. But if that's the case, then how do we have a gas pressure? And we can't have one if we've got an open system, right? And Nathan's been asking, probably to the point of exhaustion and boredom, and he's not answered it. But I'm wondering, why has he not answered it? Because if you're on that side of the fence, right, and someone points out a contradiction or an issue, you either correct it because they've got it wrong, or you address it because you've got it wrong. But you can't just ignore it, and I'm wondering why he's ignored it.
Of course he's ignoring it because he hasn't got an answer for it. And none of them have.
Nathan, are you still alive?
Yeah, I'm still alive. I mean, if he ever actually shows us gas pressure without a container, I'll be amazed. You know, he'll be basically debunking the second law of thermodynamics. So good luck with that. But the question still stands. How do you have gas pressure without a container, given that your Ball Earth bullshit is an open system? How is that possible? How can you have gas pressure without a container?
By the way, guys, listen, right. Can everybody spam IRM, the live feed that they've got going right now. I want to do this because it seems that I hadn't even realised it, that I've overlapped their time slot. So it seems that I might have,
normally all, aren't they? Yeah.
it seems that I've taken over their place and they've only got like 30 people watching. So please, everybody, because I will be ending the stream very soon, like within 2 or 3 minutes. So click the link, right click it, whatever, open up in a new tab, you know, at least go over there. These guys deserve your support. So
yeah, they do. They're a nice bunch of guys, and I agree. So when we wrap this up in the next 30 seconds, make sure you go over to I Am Real Media because, well, basically because we're stopping. No, I mean because the race.
No. I didn't realize what I was, I didn't realize I was in their time slot. They were awesome. Please, everybody, go on over there now. Let's give these guys some support.
Yeah? I'll actually share the link in the side chat so everyone can bugger off, and we'll hang around to watch the numbers disappear to zero because obviously everyone's going to go immediately over there, aren't they?
That's great. I'm happy for everybody to bugger off over there because, literally 30 seconds from now, this stream will be ended.
Thanks
I'm already in chat.
Appreciate it.
So head on over there. Let's spam it again a few more times, and then we're done. Cheers, guys. I really appreciate everybody that turned up tonight. We've had 4 hours of this. Fantastic. Nathan, appreciate you being there, mate. You're a fucking star. Anthony, man, you handed it. You literally held it down so bad. It was brilliant.
I love you, man, Ranty. You're like my best friend.
Oh, fuck off. Right, okay, I've had a drink. Right, fuck you, dickhead.
Right, piss off now. Get out.
I'm going.
Let's go to
I'm
bed.
going. I am going. When I can figure out how to end the stream.
Big red button in the middle.
Subscribe to Nathan Oakley 1980.
Yeah, subscribe to Nathan Oakley 1980 and Sleeping Warrior. And if you haven't already, subscribe to me too. Thank you very much.